Welcome to another episode of the Coach's Box. Ray Halbrook here with Live Stream STL. How's everybody doing tonight? Yes, we just took a quick trip from Hillsborough High School, and we are over here with the guys. We'll open up the microphones, guys. How's everybody doing tonight?
Hey, Ray, where'd you go to high school? Did you ever win a spelling bee? If you looked at the episode title, Costal Carolina.
You know, I
went to collage.
Oh my gosh, I sure did.
A lot of people go to college for 7 years.
I support
They're
public
called
school
doctors.
education.
They're called doctors. Maybe I should have went to St. Pius where they value my education, right?
I mean,
Well,
it is what it is.
I'm sorry.
It happened.
I just couldn't help myself.
It was a quick turnaround from Hillsborough High School to be here, and so we will get that fixed a little later.
It's what you get for putting that out there.
Yeah, well, the Costal Carolina episode. So here you go.
Oh gosh.
All right.
Well, that's great. Let's just bring.
That's the only mistake we made. We're in good shape, right?
Yeah, let's just jump right into Coastal Carolina.
All
go
right.
ahead, Zach.
Yeah,
let's
right.
go ahead. Get on your
Hey,
soapbox.
what's our breaking news?
What?
Well, not really us breaking the story, but how about Ohio State
Uh-oh.
not playing Michigan?
What is going on?
Shocking.
Okay, and
And wait for it, Big Ten news.
Big Ten news, they're thinking about changing the rule to allow them to play in the Big Ten championship.
Did you think it was going to be any different?
If I'm ever any other school in the Big Ten right now, I'm
Let's
livid.
talk about that. Let's
I'm
go back to
livid.
Mr. Coach Frost in Nebraska about, a month ago when he said, when his opponent was canceled due to COVID, he said, let's go schedule somebody outside of the Big Ten. They said, no, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Because you might get the coronavirus.
I
playing
guess.
somebody outside.
I
the
guess,
Big Ten.
but you know what? Had they agreed to do that a month ago,
Yeah.
then maybe they could have allowed Ohio State to play somebody this week, and then it wouldn't be an issue.
Well, if they would have started their season when the SEC did,
Right.
instead of being like, no, player safety, we're all about player safety, and then they're watching the money that they're losing, like, yeah, so player safety, yeah, let's just let's table that a little bit. Why don't you guys go ahead and start playing? Go ahead, start playing now. Now all of a sudden, yeah, because hey, we got to help Ohio State out.
Right.
Hey, it's pretty bright in this corner over here. What? None of these guys got hats on.
I know. I
What's
wish I
up
would have
with
got the
this?
memo.
Sorry,
That's right.
Bright. It's a little bright.
Just trying to show off.
you notice this is how it is all the time when you're.
I know. That's why I thought you guys just want to be like me. I guess.
No, I mean,
that's what it is.
No, I have
get it.
hair on my head.
Yeah,
Yeah, you do, but not on your
I got
forehead.
more. I got more than you. So, throwing out there.
Slow. You're getting there.
Well, you know what? You're older than me.
Hey, another game like last night, you probably would have
Yeah,
no
that's
hair.
true.
Huh? I saw a lot of stress in your eyes last night.
There was a
man.
lot of
I
stress in my
enjoyed it.
voice. There was a lot of
I enjoyed
blood
it.
pressure was high. I mean, we did everything we could to try to not win, but
Well, you almost did right
that's
there. at the
okay.
end.
Hey, they made plays, and
Hey.
it was close.
But guess what?
Yeah,
Got
You
the
got the
W.
W.
got the W. Ugly wins are better
Yeah,
than pretty
I mean,
losses.
everyone here's got a W except me, so you should all be happy.
Hey, I really did enjoy your Facebook Live commentary.
Yeah.
If you haven't checked it out, find Coach Jarvis,
Yes.
become his friend,
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
and then follow
Well, let's
him.
not go that far.
I know. It's like, hold on, wait.
It'd be starting to get about 75 friend requests.
Everybody who watches our show should be friends with you. You are
Oh,
a great
hey.
follow for lots of reasons.
Agree with
Lots
that.
of reasons.
Well, I mean, I
Say.
didn't wear a hat today. I'm showing off my Monate hair, you know.
See,
Monate, you got it right this
got it
time.
right on the
Yep.
first
Yep.
time.
Monate.
Dang.
Yep, I got the Monate gel, the Monate, everything. Everything.
You should have brought a box. We could have been selling.
We
it right
could have
here.
revealed a
the
box
reveal.
reveal. Yeah,
That's a segment in itself.
yes, right. It is.
So
I want to hear Coach Jarvis's opinion on the whole Ohio State
Yeah.
issue. He's like,
Wow, I mean, the Big Ten screwed this whole thing up. And not letting them play other teams is garbage.
Right.
Well, it's starting.
It makes it look
However
like
long
Ohio
late they
State's just kind of shying away from.
it makes it look like Ohio State runs the entire Big Ten and then some.
They do.
Well, they
And they
do.
do.
I mean, I
They
guess
do.
they
and
do.
they do.
And I do. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible for college sports in general because either you're going to take the stance and you're going to say, hey, we're all about players, or we're all about the money.
Right.
And, which I hate. Which I hate because
Would you pay the kids to play?
they are getting paid. It's called their athletic scholarship.
Okay.
It's called the six-figure
All right.
athletic scholarship,
All right.
and their meal plans,
All right.
and their dorms.
All right.
Okay.
So if somebody wears the jersey, it's your number, and you're the star quarterback at what's that guy's name at Ohio State?
I don't even
Is
know.
it Fields?
Fields, yeah.
Yeah.
Fields, yeah.
Okay, so if it's Fields' jersey,
Right.
Ohio State jersey, his
Right.
number, should he not get anything?
I
I don't think he does.
Okay.
don't know.
Ed
I'm
O'Bannon
torn.
disagrees with you.
I'm torn. I mean, I understand, but here's the thing: are you going to give the placeholder? Is he going to get a?
I don't know. Somebody
Profit?
buys his jersey.
But is it only
Is it-
relegated to
get better.
to jerseys?
Don't
Get
just-
better.
don't-
Get better. Okay. Jeez.
Don't be just a placeholder.
Don't be just the placeholder.
Listen, if you're the guy, if all your job is just to be the long snapper, and you're worried about your jersey, I don't know what to tell you. You should have picked a
so
different
I was going to say
position player.
so you're
Coach,
saying-
Coach, give me the ball.
So
play that
so
one.
Fields
I'm going to be a wide receiver.
Yep,
I
tight
would-
end,
That's all
whatever.
the wide receivers say. Give me
Yeah.
the damn ball.
Give me the ball. Yep.
Yeah.
Spread.
I don't know. I'm torn. Would you, if you're Fields, are you going to share that money with the rest of the team?
Let me think about it.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm a
what
college kid. There's only one thing I would share, and that's if I was buying dinner.
Oh,
That's
dinner.
Sodas.
Sodas,
right?
Sodas.
Yeah.
Sodas. Maybe. But
Daddy sodas?
sure. Yeah,
the
let's
views
go
of
with
this
that.
show.
Well,
Are not
I haven't
the
gone
views.
there yet. Haven't gone
You
there
just
yet.
did.
haven't
Just
gone
speaking
there
of
yet.
Say,
soda.
there's been nothing said bad
Soda.
yet. So,
Yeah, thank you.
Speaking of some Pepsi and Mountain
There
Dew.
you go. Here you go, Ray. Get a good look at that. You can zoom in if you want. Yeah.
They're not one of our sponsors. Sorry.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, yeah.
So,
By the way, where's our banner?
yeah, that's a good question.
I hope it's coming here. We're trying to work on some technical difficulties.
Tell the
with
viewers
it.
about our banner there, Mr. Blair.
Yeah, let's stay on topic and talk about the banner.
Yeah, let's definitely do that. We're working on trying to get a banner to hang up here. One to hang up here permanently, and the other one to take with us if we go off location at some point. Take it with us.
Are you saying we can go off location?
we might? We might. We
gonna
might
go to Canada.
We might end up one night in the gym at some building doing the show. Why
Sounds kind of weird.
one of us
Showed
is
up.
coaching?
What's up, guys?
Maybe
We're
tomorrow
doing a show.
night. Maybe tomorrow night.
Come on out. Let's do it.
Yeah, there you go. Everybody.
Stage is available. Come on out. Oh, you got a game too.
Yeah, I got a game. I wear my mask the whole time.
I forgot.
So do all my kids.
But you're not upset about that.
Oh, I'm mortified. I think it's stupid. It's like communism.
I noticed some
Hey,
of the
but-
Valley Park players were wearing them.
Yeah, because one
have
of the
to.
officials said in the meeting, the coaches meeting, says, "Coach, just to let you guys know, the virus doesn't cross the Merrimack, and your kids don't have to wear masks." He said it and I about died. I was like, "Yeah, smart."
Did you
virus.
say you've been watching our show?
I would have. Well, first off, I didn't particularly like that guy too much.
I was going to say, I'm looking at those three, and I doubt any of them. Maybe one of them watches our show.
Maybe one. I don't know.
I bet two of them.
I tell you what, though, tell them about the numbers. That's great.
Yeah. So last week's show, we had over 3,000 viewers.
That's awesome.
So that's-
3,100.
Thank you, guys.
Man,
Thank you
Thank
to
you.
everybody that's watching.
I know it's like you might be sharing
As
it.
I'm sharing it right now.
Five people shared it with another five
Exact-
people, and now all of a sudden we have,
Just like COVID.
I like what you did there.
We see what you did there,
Man.
Mr. McVeigh.
Right?
You got mine like a steel trap.
Exactly, yeah.
Speaking of the trap,
What?
it's a trap. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, Star Wars reference. It's a trap. So, talk about college football, and I know McVeigh wants to go into this a little bit more. Coastal Carolina.
Costal.
Coastal Carolina.
Coastal Carolina.
Thanks.
Well,
From Boston.
BYU's out, and then here's
Thank
the other
God
thing.
we could
Listen,
put that to rest.
And,
Yeah, thank you.
probably Cincinnati, and probably because
Really?
well,
Why?
because COVID. They don't. I think their game's getting canceled.
They realized they
So-
were going to make it.
So, however, though, you've got
Upset.
think about this: Indiana and Northwestern potential Big Ten championship game.
No,
It-
Ohio State's in it. Oh,
I'm
you're saying okay,
potential.
okay.
Potential
To play in it,
Yes,
maybe.
to play in it.
maybe.
So Indiana, highest chance they said today on TV, 30-some odd percent to still outside of the top four get in. That would be kind of neat.
Wow.
somebody different? I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen, but
I would say the chances of me walking out of here on a clear night, getting struck by lightning 3 times in a row before that happens.
yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Just throwing it out. I mean,
Yeah.
so I'm saying there is a chance. It's just not likely. It's not going to happen. Kind of like Coastal Carolina getting into anything. No, it ain't happening. None of I told you, none of these little bitty
think
schools.
so.
That's all great. Hey, it's a good story. Good for their. Yeah, it's all good. It's kind of like when UCF thought
Great.
they were.
Hey, you know.
Like UCF thought they were national
them out.
champions.
Right. They
No.
got the ring. They
Yeah,
got the owner.
that's dumb. That's dumb. Come on. I get it.
So you're saying at no point ever a non-Power 5 school could ever be in the playoff? Ever.
The difference is the Power 5 schools are not going to play them because it's a trap game. It is a trap game.
If they're in,
Why would they?
If they're in a top 10, that's still a trap game. If they're a top 15 team,
Okay,
because
but
here's the thing:
Are
if
they
you're
every
Ohio
year? Are they every year? Ohio State's going to be in the top 10.
No,
because
but what I'm
they
saying
are.
is Ohio State's playing a. Well, they were a 2-win Michigan, a 2-win
It's their
Penn
conference.
State. Doesn't
It's a
matter.
conference.
It's a Power 5 conference.
Okay, it's the Power 5 conference. Are you going to?
That's my point.
It doesn't matter how bad the other teams are in the Big Ten. The Big Ten will always and forever be a Power 5 conference.
Right, but all I'm saying is
It doesn't matter. It's Ohio State.
it's who you
and
play,
all
right?
the other little kids.
But it's who you play. So Ohio State's playing the
Doesn't matter.
schedule of.
It doesn't matter. They're Power 5. They're Ohio State. I don't know what to tell you. I don't disagree with you.
Right.
On principle. I'm just
Right.
telling you it doesn't matter. Come hell or high water, it's not going to happen. They can't. They're not continuously recruiting the same kind of kids that Ohio State just gets because
Right.
they're Ohio State.
The
I'm not
Ohio
going
State
to play that. I
University.
don't like them. I don't like them at all. But the fact of the matter, they're not going to be able to compete. So Appalachian State has a great run. Okay, that's great. You're not continuously every year.
I'm
You're
not
not
saying
getting
that.
those blue chip guys. You're not getting
Right.
the guys that are going to the NFL when they're eligible to go.
Uh-huh.
And it's great for those little schools to have those years like that. But they're not going to be able to compete year in year. They might have one of those games, one.
Okay.
But okay, in Michigan, getting beat by Appalachian State was the number one reason why none of these schools should ever schedule them.
Right.
Because it just knocked them out of any kind of chance for anything. So they're not going to do that unless they make them play in a playoff bracket that's expanded.
Playoffs?
Then that's the only way that happens.
Sure.
And until it happens, don't worry, it's not going to
I
happen.
guess say it's not because
Nope.
you still have your 5 conferences. So what are you going to do away with the conference championship to go for the playoff, or are you going to take away regular season games and have non-con?
Well,
have
I mean,
no
you
non-con games?
could take away their regular season games because a lot of them, when they're non-cons, they're playing the Sisters of the Blind and Poor, and they're beating the hell out of them.
Right, but there's your opportunity to go play
Sure.
those A-10 teams.
They're not going to.
I know, but
They're not
There's
going
a chance of them losing. They don't want to take that chance.
Bingo. You don't do it.
then if you're saying that, then by that logic, then they're saying they're not good enough to be a part of the playoff discussion. Because if you are,
They're not good
go
enough to
play,
be part of the playoff discussion.
Well, how about with this? How about we just split? Have 2 different playoffs.
They were talking about that the other day.
I mean,
Well,
Saying about
really?
splitting the Power 5 and then actually letting the rest of the schools have their tournament and having 2 different ones because they're not ever going to let them in.
I'm 100%
So what
behind that.
What do you think that does?
It's like, well,
What do you think that does for recruiting for those non-Power 5s?
well, it's because the NCAA does not run the college football
Right.
playoff
Yeah.
bracket. The Final Four is not decided by anybody in NCAA. So the NCAA doesn't have any power over that, and because they don't have power over it, why does it matter? It's almost like having the NCAA tournament in basketball and the NIT,
Right.
which used to be the NIT was actually
It was
the
bigger.
tournament. Yeah,
Right, it was bigger.
so that's the difference. Okay, they're not going to play them in a regular season, and they shouldn't because of what he said. You have a chance of losing, and what happens then? You might lose one of your star recruits that you're going after. You might get knocked your one chance. What if your best your Heisman hopeful quarterback gets hurt
Right.
by playing some goofy team, and that's it. And now your national championship hopes go.
So you're going to go play SEMO, or you're going to go play Missouri State?
That's what
like
they do.
Oklahoma,
Yeah.
and win 80-0.
Yep. Do
I
I
know. I-
disagree with you? No, but on principle, they're not going to do it.
Right.
again, I'll walk outside and get struck by lightning 3 times. Yeah. I said 2. 3 now, and it's not going to happen.
Hey, just to let you know, Coastal Carolina is 2-3 against the spread when favored by more than 20. Fun fact from Kyle Bohr.
Paradise Sportsbook.
There you go.
Right now, I think you can do the app. And you don't have to be in person. From what I hear. So if you sign up now,
I wouldn't know who you heard that from.
Wow.
Other radio stations we can't talk about.
And Jim Powers has jumped on, said, "Here we go. All right, here we go." I'm sure he's talking
Coach
about this.
Jarvis, what do you think?
I
mean,
I'm all for splitting it. I think if that's the way it's going to be. If you're never going to give them a chance, or what are those teams playing for?
But then you lose any hope of ever getting maybe a 4-star guy. Not that you would ever get maybe a 5-star, but think about Ravens quarterback. He was from Louisville.
Jackson.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson. He's not going to Louisville now.
He's playing right now, in fact.
He's going to go. He's going to go to a
They
Power
were
5.
losing to Dallas. I don't know.
I mean,
It's 17-10. Right. Baltimore is winning right now.
Okay, now they
flip the script.
You get those.
I like that.
You're not going to get those outliers anymore.
No,
I don't. If you're going to take away an opportunity, say, hey, you guys have to be over here, just simply because Big Brother doesn't want to play you because they're fearful of losing. But you guys need to go play over here in your own sandbox.
Well, I'll take into consideration. I'll talk about this. There's one guy from Jackson football team won the state title last weekend, and one of their players on their team committed to Mizzou, but had offers from Alabama, LSU, and Alabama told him, said, you probably won't ever see the field until you're a junior or senior. But Mizzou said, well, you'll play right now. You'll start right now. So where do you think that kid went?
Mizzou.
Went to Mizzou. He's thinking that concept of that, where that kid might have went to Alabama at that point. Now he goes somewhere to Mizzou to play right away. Where you may see some of those guys that aren't going to go there that could go to Alabama that don't want to not play till their junior or senior year and go to some of those smaller schools to play right away. At that point, if it doesn't mean anything except for getting 4 more years of college sports, why not go there? Honestly, because if I'm going to sit the bench and not play for 2 years as a college athlete, why do you go to be a college athlete? Yeah, you want to get your education paid for of some sort, but I get that. But if I'm going to be a college athlete and put all the work and the time into it, I want to play. So are those kids going to go to those, smaller teams just to be able to play, even though they don't have nothing to really achieve at the end of the year except for just playing the game?
I don't know. Are you going to do away with the bowls? Are you going to? That's all kinds of money, right there. Are you going to have your playoff system with this non-Power 5? Are you going to sit here and say, hey, each round is, the Outback Bowl now or the non-major bowls? I don't know.
You got to think about all that. I think it's a big-time thing to be able to split it in two and give the opportunity for those athletes that, hey, I want to play 4 years of college football. Let them go out there and play and have something to achieve, Yeah. If you're not going to give them a chance to play, why are they going to play if they have nothing to play for?
Play to win the game. You play to that's what I heard.
Well, yeah. You tell a college athlete that works his tail off from sun up to sundown every single day and then has to go home and, go to the dorm and spend. Jarvis probably knows, as far as that goes. How much hours of sleep did you get as a college athlete? College football player, probably very little.
Well,
on your own accord. Not on your own accord. We already know the answer to
does not
this.
Count. Never mind.
What?
Nothing.
But
I
honestly
was there long
believe
enough
it.
to no.
He had 4 degrees while he was left.
I was only there 5.5 years, so not quite doctor.
Full time.
Oh.
Well, I think we can all agree that it's an unfair system.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yep, I
And
do that.
just kind of move along on that one.
Yeah.
I've got some folks that have posted some stuff here real quick. I'll turn this up a little bit here. Kyle Bohr says you can give them all an ice cream cone.
It's good.
But he did also say make it 16 conferences. 16-team conference, I'm sorry.
Like a playoff
16-team playoff.
It's just not going to happen.
Well, I think he's talking about conferences, splitting and making conferences 16 teams per conference, and that's who you play.
Right.
Yeah, but then how do you dictate that? Geography?
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
Okay, so everybody in the Pac-12 sucks in comparison to the SEC.
Everybody in the Big 12. Everybody in the
Everybody
Big 10
but
but one
Ohio
school.
State. I know.
I like that idea. I think that's something
no.
that's
It's not happening.
yeah. Maybe.
I mean, hey, it's
you
good.
said there's a chance.
It's good in theory. I know. 3 times.
You said there's a
3
chance.
times.
All right. Maybe
All
4.
right.
Yeah. So to finish it up with football, we can talk a little bit about the NFL. That's great. By the way, how does Adam Gase still have a job for the Jets?
Because they want that number 1 pick.
And there's no.
They want that number 1 pick.
Then why would you
I tell
just
you who
keep Greg
doesn't.
Williams?
I tell you
why
who
would
does-
you keep Greg Williams? You don't.
Well.
Hey, listen. Hey, I don't know enough about calling defenses. You know this, okay? I mean, to blitz and leave those guys on
3
the
guys.
Yeah,
3 guys.
3
back.
guys.
Fall
Are
forward.
you kidding me? And if you're trying to lose on purpose, then you've got the perfect guy calling your defense, and you fire him. And you fire him.
Didn't that guy work for the Rams?
Yeah.
Oh,
he also
yeah.
ran Bountygate.
Bountygate. Yep.
Good guy.
Yeah.
I like him.
I mean, he's crazy.
He's from Missouri.
Yeah.
Is he? Get
Yep.
what part?
Up northwestern part of Missouri, I think. I'm not sure exactly where.
It's like Iowa South.
I
at
would
that
like
point.
to know
I saw him
the
at a coaching
philosophy
clinic, one
behind
of the
that.
best ones I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Him talking.
You know, and
Every other word was one of the words we can't use on here, but it was good.
We're
I
contractually
would like to
obligated.
know the philosophy behind that in that situation. Why to make that
Well, when I'm playing Madden,
call?
Yes.
I mean, it's kind of what it looked like. It's like when your little cousin. It's the only thing they know what that is. Blitz. Okay.
Okay.
Hey. Justin Ford says it's New York football. The New York Giants just beat the Seahawks.
Yeah.
So you can tell, hey, Coach Ford, stick with basketball. Don't worry about football. We didn't have it in South Iron. You know nothing about it. I know even less.
Wow.
Okay. But
Boy.
it's.
Man.
Yeah, I know.
sorry, Coach.
He's going to whip my tail in a couple weeks.
How about
playing really well
How about
right now.
Harbaugh? They're talking about him, Michigan trying to work out a deal to get him out of his last year and him back in the NFL.
Well, I mean, he can have a job with the Jets. They're going to have an opening.
That's
be
what
where
I
he
think.
goes.
That's where he's.
If you're Adam,
Or Chicago.
hey, real quick and finish up on the Jets because they
Yeah.
suck. If you're the Jets or if you're Adam Gase, would you just go ahead and say, you know what, I'm out because I'm going to get
No.
fired? Do you want to be like what's his face from the Lions who went 0-16? What was that guy's name? I'll think about it when it doesn't matter.
Calvin Johnson?
No.
Jim
Schwartz?
One Jim Schwartz. It was Rod Marinelli.
Oh, right, yeah, Robert.
Aaron Ellie.
And he lost. Yeah, he went 0-16. Do you want to be that guy? Do you want to be that guy who coached that team? I would say, you know what, we're 0-12. You know what, I'm out. I don't want to finish with it at that point because you know what's the writing's on the wall. You say, oh, you got to be competitive and finish out. This is not high school. Mm-hmm. This is the NFL. It's a little business.
How much money are you giving up?
Well, I mean, okay,
Because it's a business.
yeah, that's true. In comparison, though,
And then you got to
Is
think
money,
about future
is money
prospects.
more important?
You gotta
way
think
more
about-
important than what?
or your
got-
name recognition?
Well, hey,
They're
I'm
out
going
there.
to tell you right now. I think-
Everybody, he's going to get a job.
Sure.
he'll get a coordinator job. It's not like it's not like any of those guys aren't still around. I mean, look at Spagnuolo from when he took over at the Rams. Where's he at now? He's doing really well with Kansas City. So
I mean, they find their way
Well,
back.
he was a really good D coordinator.
No,
I
and
mean,
some guys are great coordinators and just suck as head coaches.
Mike
and I got to
Knox.
say, I don't listen. I just kind of got warmed up to that Keyshawn J. Will and show in the morning.
Yeah.
But Keyshawn is great, and he said there's about 3 or 4 quality head coaches in the NFL, and the rest are trash.
I wonder why.
And that is, you start thinking about it. Name great head coaches in the NFL.
Andy Reid.
Okay, there's 1,
Belichick.
2.
Peyton.
Sean Payton.
Yeah, Sean Payton.
Oh, now we're starting to start.
No.
Pete Carroll, but
Yeah.
I like Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
You got to go with Pittsburgh's head coach, too.
Tomlin?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now we're
Okay.
to 5.
Yeah.
you talking McVay?
Here goes.
McVay.
No.
He went to a Super Bowl. He went to a Super Bowl.
He did.
That doesn't mean anything.
That doesn't mean he's a great coach.
That doesn't mean anything.
Harbaugh?
I don't think he's in the same breath
I don't
as
even-
all those
I don't even
five
think John
we said.
Harbaugh-
Mike
that
Marks
great?
went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Mike Martz did go to the Super Bowl.
Well, he would have won if he would just gave
He
the ball to
likes
Marshall
that
Faulk.
guy.
Give the ball to Falk.
I mean,
We heard
I
about
would-
that last
I
week.
would say that would have been a really good idea. But
No, the percentages just said if he carried it so many times and so many yards, you're going to win.
Right.
yeah,
But,
I mean,
hey, let's not give him
But
the
I
ball.
think that goes back
does
to
before analytics.
what you said.
It was all about ego with Martz.
Yes.
Well, but I think that's what you said about why there aren't quality coaches, whether it's head coach or whatever.
Shanahan's pretty good, someone
Yeah.
brought up.
Agreed.
yeah,
Well,
except in
but
the
I
fourth
mean-
quarter.
Yeah.
Hey,
Bum, bum,
you only. I mean, you can't say that you finished the game for 3 quarters of a game, maybe.
Maybe.
But I mean, it's just there's not that many. So,
But let me ask you this question though: how much, if you're a head coach in the NFL, how much are you actually making decisions outside of running down to call timeouts?
Okay.
You have an OC, you have a DC, you have all these different guys. Now
Right.
maybe you have talk. You're the football guy. How much? How much?
you're the football guy. He ain't
was
talking to me. He's definitely
how much
not.
decision making are you saying no? I don't want that. I mean, you hear OC, you hear DC in the ear.
The head coach has the ultimate say on everything.
Okay.
though. He's touching everything. If he doesn't like what you're doing,
Right.
then he's going to tell you to change it or you're going to get fired. So, I mean, the head coach is
True.
But I'm talking about in the
ultimate
heat of the
control.
moment. In the heat of the moment, you're the play clock.
I've seen a coach take over on offensive coordinator's position and call it the rest of the game. I've seen a coach say,
Seen that.
"Up, you're done today," and take over a defense before. So,
And Jason
that's
wasn't very happy about it.
No, I never had it happen to me. Me and Coach Ridgway went at it a few times over there at Crystal when I was there as the D coordinator. But I mean, I've seen it happen.
But at the top level,
Well, I've seen some. You've seen coaches getting fistfights on the sideline before. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
the head coach has a lot more say. You don't think Bill Belichick doesn't have
Oh,
a say in everything?
sure.
You don't think Tomlin at Pittsburgh doesn't have a say in everything? I mean,
I
There's
think
two.
I think at some
You know what I
oh,
mean? We
Pete
go back
Carroll,
to-
it's all the guys we named.
But I think at some point, I do believe that as a head coach in a successful program that you've picked your guys to run be your coordinators. At this point, I think that if you've got that credibility with them, you're going to allow them to keep going. And then, I mean,
Yeah, but when it's
when it's not going well,
Okay, so
it's a
I-
different story.
I'll-
I
Andy
get
Reid
it.
calls his plays. Peterson from the Eagles calls his offense. I mean, does Carroll call anything? I'm sure Belichick probably calls.
Wait,
defense.
I think Bill Belichick has his hand on every.
well,
Decision.
Who's his coordinator, McDaniels or whatever? All right,
Offense,
you got to know Bill sometimes is having to slow him down.
Oh, my goodness.
I
yes.
think. Well, this is the second time around,
Yes,
but I think he's a lot less.
flashy.
Yeah.
That he's not that
oh no,
flashy
he hasn't
coordinator.
been as flashy, but he doesn't have a quarterback either now. So I mean,
He's got a former MVP.
he doesn't have Tom Brady.
I just had to have you say it.
That's
music
your boy.
to my
Well, I mean, I hate the Patriots, and I'm not a Tom Brady fan either.
Shocker.
But he's a great quarterback. I don't deny greatness, even if I don't like him.
Same way.
hell-
I didn't like Peyton Manning
hell,
when I was watching him.
Magic Johnson and the Lakers were my favorite team, but I looked at Larry Bird and went, man, he's pretty damn good. You know,
Did you
I
like
mean,
Isaiah Thomas?
he was
Spud
good.
Whip?
Isaiah was good,
Yeah, he was. He's pretty good.
but evidently Jordan
MJ
didn't like him.
No, he didn't.
He was not going to be on the Olympic team with Jordan.
No.
Let's just slide over to hoops a little bit. Let's talk about some college hoops.
Let's bring it.
How about the Mizzou Tigers and the SLU
Yeah, SLU.
Pelicans?
I like that.
Missouri teams right here.
Yeah,
Good
well,
stuff.
well, them Kentucky, wild kitties.
Hey.
Hold on.
Yeah, little kitties.
Here, kitty, kitty.
You know,
Well, you know, it's early in the season. Well, he'll have them tip-top star recruits going.
When those kids finally get their driver's license and they're able to get around a little bit.
well, they're riding bicycles right now.
Well, they're not. Wait, I forgot. They're not even old enough to buy tobacco, probably.
you know,
get those one and done guys.
I'm gonna live by what I said last week. I mean, if you look at the trend of what Calipari's teams do, they don't typically play very well early.
Yeah, but they ain't playing really.
Right now they're playing really, really bad.
So
Yeah.
Calipari's last practice, he goes, okay, guys, this is a basketball.
Did you watch it? Did you watch?
I should.
You should watch
Get
it.
some notes on what to do.
They put it out there, and
I already heard him talk once. Okay.
He dumbed it down so much in that one practice just to make them understand how bad they're playing, which I thought was pretty impressive to tell these, top recruits that this is a basketball. This is what you do with the basketball when you are not open. You pass it. Okay, you catch it, and then you look to see what you have. Then you pass it to somebody else. I mean, at this point, those kids need to be dumbed down to that. I mean, that's how basic it is right now. Honestly, did you watch any of those games?
Are you sure?
Oh my
You aren't talking about a Herculean boys basketball practice. But no,
Kyle.
I'm sure he had it up.
There's good news for you there, Blair. They did win against the spread by a half point.
I know.
Paradise Sportsbook.
But
100 bets off, Kyle.
And I'm gonna still stick to the guns of. I mean, you look at some of these.
I sure hope you're wrong about this year. I hope. But go ahead.
Okay, I know. And I trust me. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it. I'm wrong. But I really don't think that's going to be the case. I think by the end of this is one of these.
Dude, I've never heard him say I'm wrong.
About the Wildcats, I've never heard you say that.
This recruiting class is one of the best recruiting classes Kentucky's ever had. That's the thing that
they
most people
say
don't
that
realize.
every year.
Well, so is Duke. But Duke's struggling right now just simply the fact that those
When you don't have older guys who've been there and understand the game, you struggle.
Especially
and with COVID.
That's what I was
think
going to say. Especially right now because you haven't had that time with those kids in the off season that you would typically have gotten in the summer to be able to work with those kids and kind of mold what you want out of them. I mean, you go watch them at the high school level. What they played at that high school level is nothing like what they're going to do playing because they're going to play with 7 or 8 other guys that are exactly the same players they are.
They don't play at the high school level. They play in AAU.
Well, all those guys typically aren't playing together. They're playing on each individual AAU team that they are the person on that team.
Well,
I go back. Did you watch any of the
everything revolves around them?
North Carolina, Iowa, since it's the ACC Big Ten Challenge.
I didn't get to watch that one.
Who would have ever thought, first of all, that Iowa would be higher ranked than North Carolina, and that Iowa's whooping North Carolina by 15 plus? I don't see right now with this year, and maybe it goes into last year, into this year with COVID. It has not been quality basketball at a lot of these blue blood schools early. Now, they've got time, obviously. Hopefully nothing gets shut down and we actually get a March Madness. But it just does not look the same even with these guys, with these recruits.
I firmly believe, and I think if you ask any of these higher end programs that these coaches, I mean, you're going to hear them say, these kids are used to being the only one on the floor that can take control. And now they've got 5 of them trying to take control, and it's not working. I mean, you're seeing that, and you're seeing that not enough time in the offseason to kind of get them cornered into what you want them to do. And I don't think you'll see it until late January, early February, maybe before things start rolling in the right direction.
So teams like Mizzou and SLU are only winning because they're experienced.
But
I think that has a lot to do with it
because they are already developed together. They played together for a couple of years.
So you're saying there's something to be said about that?
Sticking around for 4 years?
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
And
but
if you guys aren't just going to run away.
But if you think about it took Konzo it took several years to get to that point for him.
Okay, so John Wooden didn't win a lot of games. And then all of a sudden he did.
I know.
I'm
not.
That's what I'm hoping for. Hey,
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just won a game. One.
It's one championship.
That's my first goal.
Oh, you're talking about
I just want one.
And
let's get one.
Kyle Bohr brings up another good point. Kentucky is 2 for 25 plus on threes.
Well, why do they keep shooting?
Yeah, well, hey, just,
So, I mean, you
keep
got to think
chucking it.
about.
Hey, law of percentages. Eventually, they might
You
make
can
some.
say it doesn't matter if you're the man or not.
No,
I got
no.
people that aren't the man that keep shooting threes. So
No,
I
what
mean,
I'm saying
you know
is, here's what I'm saying. Okay,
Better
those
turn
guys
off the green light.
did they?
Better turn off the green.
A lot of those guys played on that AAU. How many times did they get the stop sign to stop shooting? An AAU game. How often do you see defense played in the AAU game?
There's
How often
some
do you
AAU
see
coaches watching.
carry
right
the
now.
one?
They'll tell you the exact same thing. It's not happening. So at this point, I mean, these guys are accustomed to going up down the floor and jump shot it, shoot it. I mean, that's it. I mean, off the dribble, pop up and shoot. That's just what they've
Shots
accustomed
better
to
than
do.
turnover.
Well,
That's true.
So this brings up a really, really good question, and I've been holding this question out for all four of you coaches here. Right?
Oh.
Let me set this setup.
Okay.
Whoa.
Here it is.
here we go.
We've got a lot of kids that love to just, number one, shoot the three and all the time. And they don't care about the jump shot, 10, 15 foot, 8 foot.
I don't even tell
Okay.
my kids to shoot that.
Okay.
10, 11, 15. Why? They don't practice it. They can't shoot it.
Okay, so aside of Jarvis, no, I'm just kidding. Now, you get to a situation where, and I've seen this 2 or 3 games already this season, you've got one team that's just absolutely just nailing it. And obviously you're going to keep the foot on the gas.
Absolutely.
How many threes does it go by when somebody misses that you sit somebody down and you say, listen, okay, it's time to stop shooting a three. Let's be a team player. Let's be a player to where
That's a really
Depends on-
there's a lot of
Depends
layers
on
to
who it
this.
is.
Right.
Depends on who's shooting
Right.
it.
Okay, do you guys mind? I'll just
Go ahead.
Well, I mean,
Go ahead.
I have so many ideas going in my head. I mean, if it's
Exactly.
Jordan Duncan, I'm going to say keep shooting the goddamn
Exactly.
ball.
Depends
you know?
on
Why,
who it
why would
is.
you let Jordan shoot?
Because the percentages are going to be high that he's going to make.
And
them.
why is that?
Because I know that kid's gotten.
Well, he's a streak shooter. He may hit 5 or 6, and then he may miss 5 or 6.
I don't
but
think that's what Chris is alluding to.
Oh,
I know what he's alluding to, but I'm just
Why?
telling you the
No, why?
concept of.
Go ahead, answer it then.
I believe that I mean those kids like that. I mean Jordan's a perfect example of it.
you like
5 or
me to
6 in a
answer?
row, and then miss 5 or 6 in a row. But the 7th one he gets on a rhythm, and once he starts getting in
there
a
were a
row,
lot of times
you
he
like
missed
And
five,
five,
Zach,
six,
what,
seven.
what is it?
Because I wasn't around the JCC last year, I'll feel comfortable enough answering. I would be willing to bet he was your best player.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
And what does he probably do more than anybody else?
Shoot the
Score?
ball.
Well, he shoots. I
When?
mean, he's practiced
There, so
that
you,
for
there,
years.
there we go.
Yep.
So you mean to
Practice.
tell me that
Practice.
I can't just wake up in the morning, stretch, and kind of like, man, I think I can shoot the ball, and without
No, it's
picking
like-
the damn thing up and doing it.
I know.
So you mean to tell me that I have to put in time on this
It's
game?
Friday Night Lights, Booty
Coach,
Miles.
I'm
This is
open.
God-given.
Anyway, there's a reason you're open, okay? Because when they scout it, they're like, leave that kid open and let him shoot because he can't shoot the damn ball.
beg him
And
to
that's
shoot.
It's exactly. Here you go. Hey, you don't run at the guy who can't shoot and chase into the basket.
Yep.
Okay, there's a reason you're open.
Yep.
Go ahead, shoot it. Thank
Yep.
you. Rebound.
Yep.
You don't let guys shoot the ball, Ray,
Okay.
who don't practice shooting.
Right.
If they continuously do it, you just pull them sitting down. They say, well, Coach, yeah, because you're not any good. Okay?
All right.
Put in some time in the gym, and you get better. And then
hope none of your kids come in and sit on the bench and that.
you know what? I guarantee you this. They all know if they're not making shots, it's not because I don't like them. It's not because I don't want
Right.
them to be able to score. But they don't put the time. If they do, that changes things.
Absolutely.
Other
That changes
question.
things.
So are you saying that there are role players on the team when it comes to that?
Every
There-
single team
a
has a
lot,
role
yeah,
player.
but there's the role player is a role that is going down. Kids don't want to do it.
Why is that?
Kids
No,
don't
I
want
wanna
to
get into that.
Kids
I
don't
don't
want.
wanna get
Kids
into
don't
that.
want to be.
I do.
The
I think
kid-
it's good. That'd be
yeah,
a good topic.
kids don't want to be the kid that only comes in for 5 or 10 minutes in a game.
Why? No, I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I
you
know.
know.
I
Okay,
know.
but
What's the Moneyball quote? If your enemy, help me out. If your enemy's messing up, don't interrupt them. Something I wish I could remember the Moneyball quote.
I know
but,
what you're talking about. Now I can't think
he
of it.
said,
You just put me on the spot.
Yeah,
Like even the defensive guys, you got a kid that plays really good defense, so you want him on the court.
yeah.
And then
Don't shoot the ball.
he wants to shoot the ball, and you're like, dude, what did I tell you?
So here's my rule on that. it better be a layup, and it better be just you and Jesus there. And if Jesus is guarding, you can shoot that all day. Anybody else know?
Well,
I've had those combos.
And it's just it's not because of again, you like for everybody to be able to score, and I try to preface that. But if you don't put time into your craft, why do you want that kid, and why as a teammate? Why do you want that guy? I'm putting in 500 shots a day, coach. Why are you letting this guy who just he shows up? He's an athlete. That's okay. Maybe he's a basketball 2 or a basketball 3 kid. He's a football player, a soccer player, a baseball player. That's okay to be those guys. But he doesn't put in the time shooting, which, let's face it, you got to put in time to shoot the ball.
To be successful.
Most people do. Some guys actually have it, and they can be decent without putting in a lot of time because they're gifted.
Right.
But to be good, to be a guy that your green light is always on, you put in time to shoot. You put in time honing your craft.
I'll go back to, and he's graduated. I don't know if he's still at Three Rivers or if he transferred. Sprinkle from down in North County.
No.
Listen, I would get calls from Dad, his principal, saying, "Hey, what time y'all having practice? It's Saturday, it's Sunday. Hey, listen, do you mind if we come in, get the gun out, we'll shoot?" I said, "Coach, we'll be on one end. You guys shoot." He shot more on weekends than I know anybody else in that conference did. And there's a reason why he was however many points a night. He's back at half court, and it was fun to watch.
Yeah,
it was
agreed.
fun to watch him. But
No,
that
it wasn't.
kid, well,
no, it wasn't when we played him.
It wasn't when I
I'm-
played
I'm
him
a-
and he's shooting it from the red line, and my kids are looking at me like,
Now what? How do
there
you
ain't
guard
nothing
that?
you can do, boy.
No.
Nothing you can do. I'm sorry.
But you talk about when just putting in the craft. But I'll go back to it. He was never by himself. Dad was always with him and working.
Well, I can tell you right now.
And that's why he's good.
If it's I don't even know what time it is now. I would bet that if they're not still there, they're finishing up. But after our practice, Dan and Eli Boyer are at the gym.
Well, I know, and I said this.
I mean, yeah, and he's
when we did the Rollo game,
gotta stay ready.
I said this about Eli. I said, I saw him play all the way for all 4 years. I saw him come up, and it was like, no, I'm just gonna let him shoot early on, and then I would go pick my daughter up from practice over there at Pius, and he'd be in there getting his 1,000 shots after 2.5 hours of practice.
Well, I think that this is a common theme amongst a lot of high school kids, and I don't think that they understand the concept of if you want to be successful, you got to put the work and the time into
Sweat
it.
equity.
And if you don't, and you just want to be a basketball player, and just come up, show up, and hopefully get some minutes, if that's what you think you want to do, great. But those kids that want to complain about how much playing time they're getting, I always tell them, how much work are you putting in? Are you putting in the work? That's one question I always ask when a kid says, "How much? I want to get more playing time, Coach." Are you putting in the work to get more playing time? And usually the answer is,
Yep, I am, Coach. You ain't playing. You don't like me.
no. I'll be 100% honest.
I was gonna say the same
It's your
thing.
fault. It's your fault.
But when I say that to a kid, the first thing they say is, "No, you're right, Coach. I'm not." And then they'll start doing it. Now, will they start doing it, continuing doing it? 3 or 4 days gets your attention, and then go back to doing it again, not doing it. So I think that if any of our kids are watching, I think that's an important factor to talk about. If you want to be successful at it, you got to put the work into
and
it.
it doesn't matter if it's basketball. It's any sport.
Any sport,
It's any
yes.
sport.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, I play favorites.
Absolutely,
And my favorites are the ones who get in the gym and they stay after. They're the hardest workers. They're the ones who want to play defense. I had that conversation with the freshmen. I stepped in our freshman practice. I said, "Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. If you can't play for Coach K over here, my freshman coach, then you can't play for me. And I'm going to play my favorites." They all kind of looked at me. I said, "I play the guys who are going to stay after and shoot. The guys who are going to bust their butt and play defense. They're going to work hard. They're going to try to fix everything that you tell them to fix. Those are the guys I want to play, and they are my favorites.
Absolutely.
And you guys who don't do that, you're not my favorites, and I don't want to play you."
Oh, hey, here's a good post right here. Michelle Gebhardt, same way with baseball. Who's in the cages?
Yep.
Hey, practice, folks.
It's in all sports, and that's 100% agreeable.
Very good.
Can't get there, Coach. I got Call of Duty tournament.
Well, I was talking to I had a
Madden Challenge.
We had a college coach come last night to our basketball game, and we were talking after the game, and he brought up the point of, he said, I could probably pinpoint in that game that I watched, 2 games that I watched, he said I could have pinpointed what kids have put work in the gym on their on time. He goes, I can pinpoint it real quick. He said, and I'm not around this area very often. He said, but I could pinpoint. He said I could pinpoint the 3 kids on your team that are in the gym on their own time, and he spot on picked it out. I mean, so I firmly believe that that's an important thing, and college coaches can see that.
Well, it's no different. It's no different in academics.
No,
I mean, it's the same thing.
What about the kid you do know, done all those things, but man, when it comes game time,
can't do it.
I mean, and they can't do it.
Yeah, and that's a good question. Let's table that to after the break and let Ray pay some bills.
That's
Ray's
right.
got to pay some bills.
45 minutes on our first segment. How
Hey,
about that?
who
Right?
asked the questions?
Well,
Let's see.
kept us on.
Don't like the answers? Don't ask the questions.
There you go.
But that was a good. That was a good question.
Yeah,
That's
I
their best
felt like it
question
was.
ever.
Those are questions that have been kind of eating with me for about a week.
Good.
And I think it's something, parents need to understand that, coaches need to understand that, students need to understand that, your athletes need to understand that. So I mean, it's that's just been the common theme the last 2 weeks that I've seen. I mean, you're either doing one of two things: nailing a 3-pointer or hitting a bunny. There's no in between. Ball movement is great, but there's more to it than just those 2 types of shots, folks.
What he said.
Hey,
there it is.
this guy's watching up basketball in the last year and a half that he's picking up on.
So there it is.
Two
Well,
things.
and I played basketball too.
I know you did, but I'm saying
So,
is you're picking up
CYC.
the game now compared to when you were playing.
Oh, sure, absolutely,
A lot different.
Absolutely.
A lot different.
With that being said, we're going to take a quick break. You're watching the Coach's Box. We'll be right back.
Jefferson College has affordable degree options for students of all ages. Plus, register before December 11th and you could win a $250 book scholarship or other great prizes. Jefferson College provides safe on-site and online options and many exciting career pathways like humanities, business, social science and public service, math, physics and technology, and science and health. Students who know, go Jeffco. Enroll now at jeffco.edu.
For fine Mexican cuisine,
A family atmosphere.
any place to watch your local sport teams. Come out to La Pechangas. Check out our 4 locations: Arnold, Herculaneum, Crystal City, and Bonter. Come out to La Pechanga.
Brian Waits at Waits Financial Services, your safe money guy for your retirement dollars. Planning on retiring or already retired? Give Brian a call at Waits Financial Services at 314-374-6713 or bwaits at woodburyfinancial.net. Waits Financial Services, bringing a team approach to help your business and family needs for over 28 years. Looking for great rates, local lenders, and low inventory? Tara James is your real estate gal. Give Tara James a call at 573-535-8038.
I'm about to get teed up. What? I'm talking to them. I'm not talking to you. Are you kidding me? You're throwing me out of the summer league game? I'm not Riley Blair. I'm not going anywhere. Keep the free throws. Shoot the cops. Join us. Coach's Box, 7 p.m. live from Las Vegas. Tuesday night. See you there.
Since their inception in 1980, SMCI has always been about high integrity and treating people the way you would want to be treated, just like family. Mostly known as a commercial contractor, SMCI has now decided to give the family treatment to everyone. They are now opening their residential department to the public as Home by SMCI so everyone can experience the home treatment. Everyone deserves maximum comfort in their very own home. Isn't it time you come home? Contact SMCI at 636-337-4444 or on the web at homebysmci.com.
Dr. Craig Rubel is an orthopedic surgeon and fellowship-trained sports medicine specialist who cares for all athletes of all ages, performing total joint replacements, knee and shoulder arthroscopies, and general orthopedic procedures such as fracture treatment and carpal tunnel releases. Visit rubelortho.com or call 636-933-7400.
Hi, this is Coach Riley Blair from the Herculaneum Black Cats.
Hi, this is Coach Jarvis from the Herculaneum Black Cats.
Hi, this is Coach Zach McVeigh with the Jefferson Lady Blue Jays.
Hi, I'm Chris Miller from St. Pius X High School.
And you're watching the Coach's Box.
And you are watching the Coach's Box
on Livestream STL.
On Livestream STL.
We are back for segment 2 here of the Coach's Box here. Hope everybody is enjoying our show right now. We've had a lot of folks post some things here late too, so we appreciate all of the comments and all of the questions as well. And we're going to open up the lines here again for the boys here real quick. I know they're chatting it up here as we speak.
Well, at least he ain't beating it.
Uh-oh.
He's over here talking about the cup here, you know.
Uh-oh.
Well, I was just checking out the commercial right before it where Chris is petting the like
I wasn't
kind of
beating
animal or something. Well,
I wasn't beating it.
yet.
Just beat it.
Oh, Lord.
That's one of your favorites. That's one of your favorites.
I mean, it's a good song, but
that's gonna be your warm-up song.
it could be.
Yeah, maybe.
We're gonna play that tomorrow night for the Doe Run.
Are we
Doe Run
playing?
Classic.
Are we playing you at home?
No, we're playing at your place.
That's what I said, at home.
Jeff will play it.
Jeff, we got to get on that.
Put it
My gosh.
Jeff,
I will be on the floor, dude.
Jeff, get with me. We can come up with a great playlist.
Right.
I'm glad we're playing this guy at our place.
Do it. Hey, put whatever you want on there. I don't have any shame.
Let's real quick. Well, can I like give me 45 seconds to recap something real quick?
Sure.
Recap where we're at. So last night, 2 games we saw last night. We saw Windsor get manhandled pretty good about from Park Hill Central.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, just a tad.
We saw a upset last night. DeSoto beating Hillsboro last night. We saw an upset again today with Seckman beating Festus. And tomorrow night we'll be over at the Doe Run Classic, a.k.a. the Riley Blair Technical Classic. The Technical Fest. And, so.
Technical Fest.
Jarvis.
Wow.
Jarvis playing coy over here like, what are you talking about?
I just love it. I just love it. Hey, just keep getting them, bud. Just keep getting them.
Is there a limit? Is there a limit?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't
Where they
think
got to put you in timeout or something? Like, no. You need to sit over here for a while.
I'm sure there's some stuff in fine print
Somewhere. Somebody's got
Somewhere
something.
along the line, you either get teed up X
Other
amount of
duties
times
as
and you don't
assigned.
have a job.
Yeah.
I would think.
Could be the case.
That would probably be it.
If Bobby and I can
The
throw
best-
a chair, that's fine.
The best was at R7 when he got thrown out of the JV game. That was classic.
For absolutely nothing, my friend.
Oh,
Were you
no.
coaching that
Listen
game?
to it.
Nothing.
Listen to it.
No, he wasn't doing anything.
No,
He was
not
just
me,
sitting on
not
the
me.
bench.
Were you coaching that game?
Sitting on the bench.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't even the
he
he
was
wasn't even head
he was
coach.
evidently yelling.
You're not supposed to. They say not to.
I asked a question because my assistant coach, which is the head JV coach, was talking to a player on the end of the bench that he had just subbed out, and a play happened, and I asked a question about the play.
Did you
and he
ask
told me
nicely?
I'm not the head coach of the program. I said, well, I am the head coach of the program, and he got smart with me, so I stood up at that point.
So
And then
You're
I
not
got
supposed to stand
"Teep,"
up.
And then
They-
I got,
they frown on
"Teep,
it.
you're gone."
Oh, my gosh. I didn't know it happened until he comes to the back because I was getting the kids ready, and he's like, I just got thrown on the TV. I just start dying laughing. I'm like, oh, my gosh. Oh, wait, maybe you're mad, but no. That's right.
So on a real quick scoreboard, did you get teed up this year yet?
No.
Did
no.
you?
No.
I almost, but I didn't.
No.
I had some
You
restraint,
were
self-control.
pretty far on the court last
Well,
night.
I was channeling my Justin
There
Tatum.
isn't much room on
I was
that.
trying to do Justin Tatum.
I'll
Hey.
take up for
Oh
you.
my
There isn't
gosh.
much room on the sideline over there.
We took the heaters out. so
my
that
yeah,
was more.
yes.
a little bit more room, but still.
I'm going
just
to give you
saying.
Thanks
some,
to Home
I'm gonna
by
give you some
SMCI.
advice.
When they say stop,
No,
stop.
no.
You've never gotten one of those, have you?
Never.
Yes,
Never.
you have.
But
I
here-
watched
here's
it
the-
happen.
wow.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
I was
Advice.
talking to a couple of those officials that were at the game last night and then not last Friday as well. And, both of them told me the same thing. If you have an issue, I'm never going to tee you up until I come talk to you. And then if I tell you, and then if you don't stop, then I'm going to do it. I said, because shows a good sign that I have control of the game, not you. And that's what the official told me, straight up. He said, I don't want you to think that you can overpower me. So if I come talk to you and have a conversation with you, you may not like what I said,
Right.
but at that point, now I have control of the situation. It's not in your hands.
Hey,
and that's what my job is, to be in control of the
Hey,
situation.
Elick won the pool.
Yes, he did. He just posted, hey, I won the pool. Who would get
There
teed
you
up
go.
first? Yes. There
That's
it is.
right.
He knows me.
Thanks,
Well,
Ben.
if I'd known there was a pool, you could have let me in on
Bet
it.
on yourself, Pete.
Hey,
You can't bet on
at
yourself.
this point, I don't care. I need
Right.
to win something.
Should we have
a win.
I'm talking about the cup.
Oh, well.
So what do you got tomorrow night?
I've
Ray?
got so tomorrow night the Black Cat Red and Black
Doe Run Classic.
Doe Run Classic. That's
Doe
what
Run
they call
Black
it.
and
There's
red.
like 100
There's black and
names.
red.
Does it change every year? It's something different? Because last year I thought it was just
Black
Doe Run
and
Classic.
red,
It's
Doe
the
Run.
Okay.
It's the blue,
39th
black and
annual.
red
Yeah,
Doe Run Classic.
So the Doe Run Classic, a.k.a.
Is
the
it
Riley Blair
39th?
Technical Classic.
How many is it?
This one, 34.
34th? 34
Really?
years of this? Wow. That means it started
Wait
4
for
years.
it.
That before I was playing.
Yeah, it's been around. Now it
Wow.
used to be only 4 teams.
Wow. Okay, so there you go. Should we have a new little mini? You think we could find us a little mini, trophy for the technical foul? You get a technical.
I don't know. I mean, I can call Look at That
Should
Engraving
we
and
give
see
you
if
that?
he can get probably get a good deal on one.
that or we could bring that particular person some ice cream
Needs
or
to
something.
be like
I don't know.
a golden whistle. A golden
whistle. I
gotta
love
wear-
it.
You got to wear it around your neck.
I got the technical.
for the next week.
Why
The
don't-
whistle of shame.
Why don't we just go to
I
the
like it.
junkyard and get an old
Yeah.
seatbelt and then bring it in? 'Cause that's what you got to have. 'Cause every time,
Oh,
it's
no,
like,
no,
it's
you
like,
don't.
wait, you
No,
know,
you don't.
you got to
Right.
put your seatbelt on right now. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't got to sit down. Damn it.
Here's
Stupid.
another thing that I asked the question about last night was
The seatbelt.
I said, so after a technical foul, are you required to have the coach sit down? And both officials told me, said, what the rule says is that you need to be required to sit down and you can only coach sitting down. But as far as most officials' crews, if you're not being belligerent and out of line, they'll allow you to stand up at times. But if it goes any further and you have
I haven't.
and you control anything else, and that he said
Always told
They
to
have to
sit
sit
down.
down. You need to sit
Sit
down.
down.
Well, and
Seatbelt time.
but that's what I'm
They call
saying
it
is
seatbelt.
that's what I'm saying is it's not consistent across the board. So
Are you one of
Well-
those guys that have ever taken the chair and put it on your butt and held it to your butt and walked around and still coach? Have
we
you
don't
ever
have-
done that? When
we
they
don't
said
have
you got
chairs.
coach, you got to get in the chair.
but they may have
You never
chairs
had. You
that are
never.
set.
You might say
I've
that.
seen you holding the chair before, I think.
I've
at
done
a
it.
game.
I've done it. I've done it.
Wow.
Listen, I'm a lot more mellow now than I used to be.
Oh, goodness.
I think you've told me that story before.
I was there.
Hey, one time I got your boy Paul a technical by slapping a chair, and the official thought it was him who did it. I'm the one. I collapsed the chair, and he turned around and blew it on him and called him for technical.
Wow.
I was like, hey, that's the first. That's what
Touchy
how
much?
Like me.
Touchy much?
All right, so what do you got going tomorrow, Ray?
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, it's the
We're off agenda.
The-
We're off
the
the rails.
Riley Blair
Thanks a lot.
Classic.
I thought he said he had
What's
the
the
Doe
game?
Run.
we have it's
What's
the
the
Doe
game?
Run Classic, and guess who's going to be calling the Doe Run Classic?
Jim
tomorrow?
Powers.
Jim Powers and Jeff Whitener.
Hey, there you
Jim
go.
and Jeff.
Jim and Jeff, the Jim and Jeff show.
Sounds like a radio show.
I guess I might come behind and just heckle.
You could. We could give you a wireless mic, and you could go up and down the hall, or up and down the sideline. and-
That could
So,
be
what do you
fun.
think about that, Blair?
That could be fun.
I videoed him enough last
Hey,
night.
what do you think about that?
Hey, what do you think about that charge?
What do you think about that block?
Charge. Block.
Block charge. We'll get that later.
One of the things I
Hey,
saw
Rex
last
Chapman,
night.
which is it?
And one of the things I saw last night, I saw two teams, Central, and I'd probably say that the Hillsborough DeSoto game as well. I tell you what, these guys are all out. I'm going to, if I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I'm going to draw a foul, I'm going to lay you out. And I mean, it doesn't matter if it's right straight smack dab. It doesn't matter if it's I got the ball down the post and I roll an elbow. I mean, I saw 4 or 5 elbows to the chops last night.
What's wrong
And I
with
was
that?
just like, there's nothing wrong with it.
As long as you pivot.
But I mean,
You gotta
the
pivot, you gotta cut down.
physicality this early really kind of surprised me. It really has.
Hey, guys ain't used to playing all the time.
Yep. So I'm
haven't
not
played
used
in
to
a while.
calling it like that either.
Hey, I've seen a lot more stuff not called
Yeah.
than
Okay.
stuff that has been
Yeah.
called.
Oh, I agree.
Hey, could have called a lot more stuff last night. I thought. Been there all night.
I don't.
It'd have been a 30-minute
I have-
Facebook Live post for you.
I have no opinion.
Ben says he'll take the mic tomorrow night and put it on him.
Okay.
He'll be good with it.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Yeah,
Also,
I don't know.
He said, "Please avoid my bench."
Mike.
Yeah.
There it is right there.
There you go.
Yeah, Lutheran South is at
Put a-
our
put a-
place
put a
tomorrow
hit
night
one
against
underneath
St.
his
Pius.
chair.
Yeah, Lutheran
And-
South, St. Pius, and then you're going to be.
Hey, what time does
hosting-
that start?
That's at. Well, why don't I just do the
Oh,
the formalities? Here it is, right here.
Get it.
6:45,
Wait for
Lutheran
it.
South and St. Pius.
Okay.
8:15, Herculaneum in North County.
What are you
So
doing
there you go.
tomorrow?
I got a game. We had to go into the magical land of St. Louis County.
Yeah, he's got to wear a
you
mask
playing?
tomorrow.
Afton,
Got to go play Afton.
Masked up.
masked up.
mask
Yep,
it
masked
up and
warriors.
mask it.
Hey, after we get done playing, we go rob a bank. You know?
I hope not, sir.
That'd
Shoot,
probably
shoot,
be bad. They
shoot.
frown on that now.
Oh,
I saw it in a movie one time. Guy built himself into the wall. Inside Man was a good movie.
That was a good movie.
Real good. I didn't see that one coming.
Oh,
So going
Jeff
right-
Go courtside's going to be up at Herculaneum.
Here we
So
are.
go right into our
What?
next item of agenda. Let's talk about a little about local high school basketball and maybe
That's how we have been.
a little talk about the block charge calls.
Let's go right into that. I
so-
think that's the best one.
Is and I know this is a touchy subject. I'm sure most of you know, but as far as the blocking charge call, at what point is that call consistent?
Never.
Okay.
It's just not.
It depends on the official.
No, it's not. it's
And
just not because it's subjective. Here's the thing. Basketball, being a basketball official is incredibly difficult.
Agreed.
It's football, baseball, volleyball, basketball, any of the other team sports. It has got to be the hardest game to officiate because everything's so subjective.
agreed.
Everything is so subjective. So, and then you, like I said, you want to talk about that block charge call. It's just bang, bang. And you could probably look at it, and you could probably do the same thing 10 times in a row, and you could probably analyze it 10 different times and make 10 different decisions. And so it's super subjective,
Well,
which is tough for us because immediately what happens is, Coach, this is what I did. I didn't move. I mean, as a player, I did everything you wanted me to do, everything I'm taught to do, but yet it's still a block call. I know, but then, like you said, you get maybe a different official that's on the other end, or they rotate however they rotate, and they make a completely different call.
Agreed.
And so we have been asked, every year we always get that MSHA survey, basketball coaches, what do you want to see, yada, yada, yada. And every year on there, I think consistency is one of the choices that we get to talk about, or at least choose. But it's tough. And because we've had games, I'm sure we all have had games, where referee A is on this end making this call, but referee B over here is making a completely different call in the same type of play.
You're right.
And as a coach, you're pulling your hair out because all you want to do is be consistent. You can't change it just because if this guy's making that call there, you have to make the same call. Whether you agree or disagree, that's the precedent for tonight that has already been set. If he's in that slot and then you're down on that end, it doesn't matter what your feelings are. It doesn't matter if you like it or dislike it. That's the precedent. That's what has to be consistent. And I think as coaches, and you tell me if I'm wrong, I'm going to mow your lawn here, but for me, that's what I want to see.
Agreed. And I think that with the block charge call, it's so hard to call it because every official looks at it completely different as far as, okay, I mean, they got to be completely set, cannot move, and got to take everything straight on. Some officials say that you're allowed to move as long as your feet don't move and your lower body doesn't move. You can move your upper body to absorb,
which isn't the rule.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's the thing. You look at the rule book, and by definition, which also is always on our coaches' test that we have to take at the beginning of the year. So my question is, are the officials doing the same types of learning and the same types of tests that we have to take? Because when they talk about hand checks every year, they talk about the block charge call every year. Closely guarded call, foot, or your feet. You can move. You can move as long as you're staying in the same direction. You're not going, As
long as you're in a defensive position, and that's a guarded position. That's what my biggest frustration was, is, that why, and one of the officials came over to me and said, Coach, I said, hey, she was clearly in a defensive position, not moving. And he said, you're right, Coach. I messed up that call. And was very gracious to call it out and say that, because he said, you're right. As long as they're in a defensive position, they can absorb the contact.
Here's what I would love to see, and I don't know why, because it's for the better part of the game. If you three are officiating and you make the call, I know. Can you think about that?
That'd be hard.
I like it.
But listen, you make a call, Chris. You make a call.
All right.
And you just messed it up.
So if I do one of these,
I don't know what to do with my hands right now,
here,
right?
I can get
one
it
of
going.
these. I've seen that happen.
But here's what I want to see. Why can you not say, hey, no, look. No, that is not the right call. That is not the right
Like picking up the flag.
What is that supposed to
I had that.
Takes too much
means?
time for them to get together and do that on
No.
I had him do that to me last year in the R7 game.
Change it.
We had, and it was the right call. All right. But then at the end of the game, they didn't confer on one, and it was obvious it was the wrong call. So that's what gets aggravating too. But they called it out on R7, and it was clearly out on my point guard. And, well, clearly. But, I mean, it was like a deflection. Then he deflected it too.
Correct.
And the ref was hidden by – he couldn't see my point guard, and he didn't see him deflect it. He just saw it off the Blue Jay player, called it on us. The ref from all the way across the other side came over, corrected it. It was the right call. I just went – I was like, yep. I'm like, hey, it's the right call. I didn't argue it or nothing. But then later in the game, there was a call, and I asked the same official for help. He needs your help. Nothing.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that, but when the athlete comes to you and they say, Coach, what'd I do wrong? And you said all along, here's what I've been teaching you, how to do this, and then that happens. At what point does that kid say, I'm not going to do that anymore because it didn't work the 2 times I tried to do it?
There ain't a whole lot of kids that take charges, period.
No, and that's why I'm saying, and that's why I point to that point.
I can remember someone taking a few in the old
Men's
men's league,
yeah.
and they got called wrong.
Hey, there was I played in the South Iron alumni game over the weekend.
Oh my
why didn't you tell us? Was that on purpose? Not telling us?
know
Yeah,
this.
I did. It was a spur of the moment thing.
My goodness.
Buddy
Why
Matt
we
Davis,
weren't
who
there
watches the
is-
show,
why we
he was
weren't
like,
there is-
hey, you
Yeah,
need
I
to come out and
know.
play. He's been bothering me for like 5 years to do it, and I'm like, yeah. Guess what I did?
Took a charge.
Damn right I did.
They call it?
Yeah, he did. Unlike the men's league, and we know how to do basketball down there at South Iron. Okay.
Oh, my.
Live stream wasn't covering that. Why?
Well, because
he
you
didn't
charge
tell
money.
He'd rather take the charge instead.
But that's what I just want to know.
It's the hardest call in basketball,
But
in my
here's
opinion.
my question is,
Yeah. And like I said, it's subjective.
It's-
Officiating is tough
how
in
often do you
basketball.
see it called at the college level?
I still see it called at the college level.
Yeah.
How often, though?
Not much.
Well,
Very seldom. What typically does
You might get one.
what does
maybe two a
typically
night,
those
depending on
college
the team.
athletes do at that point? They're sitting there.
move.
They move or they go get the ball and try to steal the ball or knock the ball out and foul them to go and going up, make sure they don't make the shot.
So
So I mean
The
that's
dif- the
the
difference-
difference at that point.
the difference between the high school games
Well, you're going to
and
put
the
your
NBA
little line.
it's
I
this
know.
little bitty arc that's right here.
Right.
Okay? And that's the difference. Because those officials at that level, the first thing, one of them looks to see if their foot is in there. And then the other one who makes the call, who sees it, that's the only thing they have to worry about.
Right.
Because a lot of times in high school where we don't have this, let me take this away now. Little magic here. Take that away. They think that thing still exists in the high school game
Right.
when there's not one.
Right.
So they're like, well, coach, your kid was too far into the basket.
Doesn't matter.
But that ain't in the damn
Doesn't
rules.
matter. That's not in the rule.
Read your book, okay?
Yeah,
Here, let me get
yeah.
the case book out.
Yeah.
Let me get that book out.
Yeah.
It's not there, but they'll say that. Okay? Well,
So
there's
if you
not a
call a
little thing.
timeout at this end, do you get it?
So when the coach's box is over here, I actually walk out here and – I'm just kidding. I ain't gonna do
You were about that far last night.
Well, they couldn't hear me. I was trying to wear my mask. Oh. I was getting acclimated.
Oh, and I'm not even going to bring up the mask wearing by you because it was it was poor.
I got – my face got a little warm, so I took it off.
So my question to you guys is
What?
the block charge call need to be gone?
Well,
Gone?
no.
It's just a foul. It's
How
not a
can you
block
get
or a
rid
charge.
of the block?
How, no.
Which way,
no.
though?
Just
On who?
No, there's not an offensive charge. At that point,
No.
I don't know how that's
No,
So
so
it's
every
now a
time it's a
defensive
defensive
foul?
foul?
So wait.
It has nothing to do with the positioning of the defense. If the guy is out of control and he runs through somebody,
It'll be the
Well,
same
he's out of
thing.
control. It
It's
should
a-
be a charge.
Okay,
Offensive
but, okay,
player
so it'll be
control.
the same
Control.
thing. It'll be the same thing. It's subjective.
Agreed.
If this is a legal guarding position and I got my vertical plane that goes from here to eternity, like it says, and all of a sudden somebody bumps into me and my hands go because they invaded my plane, but the referee sees me do this and slap their arm, his perception is that I fouled him.
right.
So that's a foul because why? It's the same. It's the same
know.
argument.
Here's what I love.
It's the same thing you said. It's subjective. It's what I saw.
It is. It is.
And this is my interpretation of
Right.
what happened and
Right.
the rules that I think I know
Right.
out of my open book test.
Right.
And this is what it is.
Right.
So it's the same. It'll be the same thing. Let's just eliminate all fouls. You can't do it. You can't
Well,
take that
and-
away.
and-
No, I'm not taking the whole call away, but as far as what you're going to call a charge, it's hardly ever called anymore unless it's very, very obvious.
What, a charge?
Anything goes.
High school.
It's going to high school level.
No,
It's gonna-
I saw one last night where a kid fell sideways. He had 1 foot up in the air when he got hit.
Doesn't matter.
And he spun around to the side, and it was like, oh, that's a charge. And I go, what? No, he wasn't in any legal guard position. He was so late to the play. I mean,
Right.
no.
Here's what I love. Here's what never gets called, right? And maybe not for you guys, but on the girls' end, if you have a tall, big post that you say just stand there, right? Just stand there, don't move. And then here you go. You have a guard come in and then shoot the ball, That's a charge. Just because my girl didn't fall back. Just because my girl didn't fall back because she's
You want me to
bigger.
show you the video from Perry County from last year?
I think
Notice
I've
left
seen
that open.
I think I've seen that.
When you don't have to fall backwards or anything, you can just keep backing up, and it's a charge. Whatever.
Well, and
Well, the one I saw that with yours.
Talking with you. The
I
one
mean,
was the
the
one.
one,
I
the
didn't
girl
think,
was
I didn't think it
completely
was.
set.
One
completely
was.
set.
Yeah, she had a tent,
Yes.
a campfire.
Yes.
She was telling
S'mores.
stories. She,
S'mores.
I think she got a guitar.
S'more what?
She was singing.
And
I was singing Kumbaya.
And all of a sudden,
I mean,
And
boom!
that was the one that the official came over to me and said, "Hey,
Yeah, messed
I
up.
made a mistake. I messed up." And
He wasn't at a good angle when he made the call.
No.
I don't think either. But that he came and told you that, then me as a coach would go, okay.
And I was fine with that. And he and I had a good. I mean, he had during the whole time that she was shooting free throws. Him and I talked about it, and you could see it on the video. And he was discussing with him, and he said, "Hey, I said, I understand, sir," and moved on to the next play. Literally the next play, same call, same situation. Maybe she moved a little bit, but at the first time, I mean, here's what I say. The first time she was definitely didn't move and didn't get the call. So at the second time, as a kid, I'm not going to take all that powered weight on top of myself to not get
I didn't think the
out of it.
second one should have been a no call. I
No,
didn't think it should have been. Should have been nothing.
And the other thing about it is positioning. I mean, as far as an officials getting in the right position, if you're not 100% in the right position, that's a tough call to make.
But that's what we talk about. It was two different officials.
Yeah,
trying to make a call, a determination in the same, because it was the same. You said it's
Same
two
basket.
different trips or
Next-
whatever.
next trip
down.
They were bang bang.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what I was saying is it if you're not 100% consistent and not right in the position, just a no call. I would have been okay with a no call at that point because
I would rather. I would rather be no call than make a call.
And then the official comes over and says, "Hey, I wasn't in the right position. I couldn't
Exactly.
see it.
If
and
I
didn't want
can't
to call
see
either
it,
way."
exactly. If I can't see it, I'm not going to call
But
it.
they call it the way they see it.
No, that's what
We
we
call
did.
it like how we see it.
Well, and
Speaking of seeing, here's my question. You guys, you're smarter than I am.
Vision tests.
Yeah,
for
vision. Well, not vision test. Do you think, and just hypothetically, let's go your game last year, the district game
Championship game.
when you won. I don't know this.
Did we win?
Yeah, you won. I don't know this. You tell me.
You haven't watched it yet.
Is there a rule to where officials are supposed to watch the clock or not? Like late game situation.
Yes.
They have one.
There's
official-
a late game.
One because one of them will tap their head.
Okay.
One of them points
Well,
it up.
they'll do this,
Okay.
and as they go down, everybody's supposed to know.
Okay.
Clock's
So,
running down.
all right. I'm just curious. All right.
I'm
just
so-
curious.
From my days of officiating.
Yeah. So
that's-
what do you do in the situation where clock's not stopping? 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, clock's still going, and then you say the clock's still. You got to put time back up on the clock. Well, coach, we didn't see it. Well, how do you not see? Is that not part of your job?
Listen,
I didn't know if it was part of our job or not.
yeah, it is.
in a
Okay.
3-man crew all game long.
Yeah.
They,
Right?
Listen, they are the stewards of the game, as I've been told,
That's fine.
and they are in charge of the game until they leave the court.
And I'm not bashing officials
No,
by no shape or
no.
form, but I'm just saying is consistency, and like you said,
Right.
that's why I've been kind of quiet.
it
Go
is
ahead.
very difficult.
I was going to mention that. You've been really quiet, Jarvis.
Well,
so
you know,
I mean,
No, we said it's subjective.
I'm not bashing officials at all because I think there's a fine line when you get to that point. But here's
But I just think some people take anything you say bashing. So that's why I'm being silent.
and that's fine, and I don't care about that because you know what? I'd have fought for my kid 2 more times just the same way because my kid did everything I've taught him to do, and at that point, I was going to fight for my
Well,
kid.
it's like this.
You know.
Just as much as that official believed that he made the right call, I'm going to go to bat for my kid.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to be just as passionate about my opinion about it as what they were. And it doesn't mean I like them any less. I get along with probably about 95% of them in before and after the game.
Yeah.
And I've disagreed with guys. And I genuinely like most of them because they are easy to talk to. But it is a very difficult game to officiate.
Yeah.
It's one of the hardest. Hockey might be the hardest.
He was bringing up I don't think that two officials can ever be 100% consistent with each other.
Right.
You're talking about that one made it this way, so now I have to make it that way. Officials don't even work with each other enough.
Not anymore.
To be able to go, well, yeah, most officials, some of them don't.
But that's got to be talked about before when they're in the locker room before the game.
But you can't make a subjective call, even though you talked about it beforehand. I saw it totally different. It's not going to. Never is that official, and that's why they need to switch.
Right, but if the precedent's been set, though, if you're going to sit here and say quarter number one, we'll use the boys' game as more of an example than the girls' game. If you're going to allow this all night, if you're up top, if you're in that slot, and you're going to say, hey, we're going to let this go all night, then the other two guys, when they get in that, you cannot make that call. You can't. And you can't change it from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. You cannot do that. And I've seen that happen all the time. And then as a coach, you say, guys, you've called it different for the first three quarters. Here we are in crunch time, and now all of a sudden you're going to change it completely different when it's a close ball game.
Right.
That's where I talk about consistency. I don't care how you call it, but just all three of you or two of you, you have to be, you have to do the same thing. If you're going to call it on one end, it has to be on the other end. And what doesn't matter if we disagree all the time, but if you're the first one that sets that call, then I have to follow that precedent for that game that night.
And I think that
I don't think you can ever do that.
But I think if you get
they're supposed to.
If you get in with a good officiating crew that works together as far as when they get there, hey guys, this is let's be consistent tonight on how we're gonna call this basketball game. Are we gonna call it very close and tight so that we don't
it should be the
get it
same
out of hand?
no matter what game
or
it is.
we're gonna let it play.
There shouldn't be a conversation.
There is no conversation. I don't think they're ever going to say, well, let's not call it close.
No,
so let's let them play tonight, guys. I gotta hurry up and get out of here.
No, but here's the thing. Yeah, I think those conversations are had, and I'm sure there's officials watching. Yeah. And if you don't tell me that there isn't those conversations had, you're crazy. Because I guarantee you officials talk about that stuff before the game. They talk about it. And they will. They'll tell you that. Well, I've had officials talk to me about that.
Depends on if they're working or if they're close. Otherwise, it's a hodgepodge with everybody. You get one guy from the city. You get one guy from the county. You get one guy from counties down south.
Well, it used to be where you guys, like 6 years ago, 6 years ago, the same three guys or the same two guys would be working together all year.
In Perry County.
I mean, they would go to certain sites and officiate all year long. So those guys knew each other. Those guys worked together every night, and so they knew each other's role and knew where they were going to be at, what position, be in the right position. So as that's what's changed with now. I mean, now you don't. You may not be with the same person ever after one game.
Sure.
I mean, it may be.
All right, ask it, Ray.
I'm gonna ask two different scenarios. Okay, so I want to piggyback on your scenario there, Zach. What happens when you get to a situation where they've called it one way up until the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden the game and the scenarios change so bad that they've got to say, hold on, let's grab both coaches. Has that ever happened to you guys?
Oh, it's happened last week. It happened in our Valley tournament, and I think what happened because of the whole what's that?
He says I hate going to Pius for that reason.
Well, because of the whole Valley tournament, because of the lack of crowds. So now you get to hear everything that anybody says when you're there.
Right.
So now, I mean, you hear this. One official tells the other officials after some parents started barking on both ends, call everything in his fourth quarter. Go ahead and call everything. And I'm like, I mean, what? Right.
So, but my scenario, I think, and I have officiated a long time ago. You have to stay in control of the game. Number one, okay, not to the point to where you're the spectacle, but to the point of the matter of the fact of, hey, we've got to change this because it's gotten so out of hand.
But it never should have got to that point in the first place. It should have been. That's why I tell you.
True.
That's why I say it's got to be consistent.
True.
If you're gonna call over the back, or if you're gonna let physical play go, early, then you got to let physical play
Right.
go late. But you have to set the precedent at the beginning of a
Right.
ball game. And like I said, it doesn't. In my opinion, it doesn't matter if I am fine with physical play, but he's calling it tight, then I've got to change because it's not fair if I'm calling it one way on one end and he's calling it a completely different way
Right.
on the other end.
Right. My issue, and I know you guys are talking about, you talked a little bit about this off camera. As an official, if you're taking over the game for you're in the wrong business.
Right.
And so it's a situation, and there's a fine line on that. I mean, I've umpired baseball, I've officiated basketball, this, that, and the other. So it's one of those things. It's just like when you need to take control, and I'll talk to Jim Powers about this tomorrow. He's going to be doing the first 2 games tomorrow night, and then he's going to jump on the microphone with us.
Yeah.
It's a situation where I feel like, you've been paid to be the official. Arbiter's fault. I like that. But you've been paid as the official to be the official, and I think the hard part about this, and it's not knocking on officials because I think probably all of us has had a shot at that.
I don't want to do it. I did it for Mr. Keeling one day in junior high, and I thought, nope, never again.
But
I won't
there's
do
a fine line. Agreed. There's such a fine line. There's the point where it's like, okay, listen, I gotta have my dignity on this because I know this has been called a certain way, and we've got to stop that.
Agreed.
And you go to you call both coaches in, and you say, listen, we're changing this up. And if you've got a problem with it, we'll talk about it afterwards or whatever, which never happens. But it's a situation. I know that I would much rather as a coach hear that than just let it go. And then they walk off the floor. You get no explanation. You get nothing.
Yep. That
there's my 2 cents.
Well, and I've said this. I'm going to give that guy praise that came and told me that he messed up the other night.
Right.
I'm 100%.
Not the other guy?
But no, I'm not. I'm not giving anybody praise that doesn't tell me that, just come talk to me. I don't have to agree with anything they have to say, but I would at least value the act talking, having a conversation with.
Right.
But he came over to me and just simply explained that he missed the call.
Yeah.
And I was completely.
I want to say something, but I don't want to say something.
Go ahead, poke the bear.
Poke the
It's
bear.
not poking the bear.
Do
It's
it.
do you ever feel they already decided who was going to win the game before they ever started reffing it?
Oh,
You say
now
if it's too close, if it's like too evenly
we have to
matched
leave that
teams?
for another show.
No, if it's like the team that's not supposed to win the game is winning the game.
Oh, now all of a sudden they get more whistles to
or,
try and
even it out. Or that hey, they're expected to win. They're the good program. They're this, and this. That
Well, human nature kicks in. Human being, you're going to take with whatever baggage as a coach, as a player, as an official into whatever setting that you're in. So, I mean, to answer your question, maybe a little bit, but I think the really, really good officials, and we have a lot of good officials. Thank you. We have a lot of good officials in our area. I think they do their best of trying to take that emotion out. But, here's my thing.
That's why they don't laugh at my jokes.
Right.
Yeah, they really
Exactly.
love your jokes.
My thing would be, though, and this has happened the last several years, I don't want to see the same official 4 times in a row, 5 times in a row, 6 times in a row, and I don't know. And that's got to be an easy fix with a computer program if we're doing the arbiter or something like that. And it would be nothing against any specific official. It's just like, no, you don't need to be doing the same.
If some showed up at your place from Perry County on a game, you wouldn't think that was fishy.
Why does it got to be Perry County?
But, and I think you make a very good point. And I think you make a very good point.
I don't make any good points.
As far as
Miller's not talking. I'm surprised.
As far as
I haven't wanted to talk much on this. I
know.
And yet you have.
Here's the thing.
Well, no, I'm just
bit.
saying I don't want to talk about something.
Hey, let's let Blair talk. Come on, stop picking on him.
I'm not secluding on the situation of I'm not just the only one talking about officials. All of us at some point don't agree with what officials call. And you know what? It's nature of our jobs as coaches. We're going to stand up for our kids. We don't think it's right. We're going to stand up for our kids. Just as the same as that official, when you tell him he made the wrong call and that was terrible, he's going to take offense. That's his job.
Right.
That's his job. And he made it. And you basically manned him up and told him he was terrible at it. I get where they're coming from. I get their frustrations. I get why they do that. And the same thing, they need to get why I'm frustrated, because I'm sticking up for my kids.
I'm pretty sure after they listen to you talk, they can get that you're frustrated.
Well, I'm sure
why
they
you're frustrated, because you just explained why you are.
I agree. So I'm not saying that we are in the wrong or they are in the wrong. I'm saying is that as a veteran official, I was very happy that the veteran official came over and talked, explained, and was in the right to explain to me why he made the call and that he was wrong. And I would give that 10 times more than somebody that is arrogant and doesn't think that they make a wrong call ever. And to me, I mean, we're all human. We make mistakes. And I would be completely okay with a mistake. Now, let's go back to your situation. Your district championship game, one of those officials is dead set that ball went in. I mean, at what point do you say, I don't agree with it, but it's your call, and he made the call that way.
As soon as they call it, and I'm already halfway out there, and then I get a little closer, and we have a different conversation, then what happened?
Right. And so that's what I'm saying is, though, is as a Steelville group, I'm sure I'm pretty heated, pretty upset, pretty mad about the call, but I think in the situation,
it was the right call.
It got together, and they all got the two officials got together and made the call on what they both seen. They didn't just. I'm not even going to ask. Well, it's my call. I'm done with it. It's good. It's good.
Well, we talked when Charles was on the show back way.
Yeah, that was really good.
When he came on and he explained, and I think, and I'm paraphrasing what he said, but he's like, well, no, you can't show up the other. You don't show up the other official, and there is that a little bit, but I mean, to me, it's like I would rather get the game right.
By the way, we're not posting that. We're not posting that.
So,
but
oh Lordy.
Well, like, and before we get off this topic, and now I was going to say it real quick.
That's pretty funny.
I get a kick out of it.
Yeah, right.
I didn't know that's how much you charged.
I'm sure it's a joke. I'm sure it's a joke. Sorry, Zach. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The way the game and consistency that Zach talks about, I think as far as arbiter goes, there, like you said, you don't want to see the same official, 4 times in a week.
Right.
You don't?
I'm going to see the same official 3 times since last Friday on this Friday. So I'm going to have him 3 games in a week.
Right.
At what point does the mind change a little bit?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so,
I don't think that's and I don't think it's fair for the official, and I don't think it's fair for the school.
No.
And just because we all know, come into February district time, those meetings get shorter and shorter, and it's like, hey, we've had it. You're done. We're done. We're all kind of, we're all emotionally strung out. Let's just, let's do our best. Let's be professional.
Right.
And most of us are. But I think that would help alleviate some of the issues.
And, and I also asked, I think this is, and I know Pat Burns typically watches this show. What'd you do?
By the way, our med kit is stocked this year.
Oh, my goodness.
But, I would like to know, as far as how the arbiter system works, when you put those games out there, does it automatically go out to?
I think I know what that means.
Does it automatically go out to officials as far as, okay, I'm secluded to these 8 schools because this is as far as I'm going to travel, so that official may get the same team because if they're local, they may get that same team 8 times because that's only the 8 schools that they seclude themselves to. So, that's a good question for Pat and. To know is how does that work?
Bring him on the show.
Well,
I was going to say
that would be a great.
Bring him on.
And I guarantee you, Pat would come on.
Yeah.
And, and he would want to discuss that because he knows that people watch this show that are first ones to complain.
Fans, right?
They're first ones to complain. Yeah. Well, that official's been here 8 times and he doesn't like us, and so he's never going to give us a call. okay, here's why this is why the arbiter does it, and this is how the arbiter does it, and it's nothing to do with anything personal. It's just that's just how it works.
Right. That's the algorithm or whatever.
Yeah, but I
it is.
think they got. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think the officials got to go in and pick where they with arbiter.
I thought they did too, but like I said, I don't know because I've never dealt with the situation, the system, so I don't know how that works. But
I'm never going to because I'm never going to be. I would never
Not
want to be.
basketball.
I
Not
would
basketball.
never want to be any of those
Volleyball ref?
Any of these guys? No, I don't.
I've done
basketball
both.
official.
Side out.
I've done like just little kids stuff officiating before. I'm like this. No, I'm not doing it.
But I tell you who, I will tell you who is an excellent official.
All of them.
Is Miss Fowler.
Oh, Paige.
She did. Now this is a couple years ago. I'm sure she's still
the
doing
men's
it.
league.
Men's
probably.
league.
Hey, she did little league baseball, and she did an excellent job.
Yeah.
No.
Great.
Okay, men's league not so much.
Men's
Can
league.
we move to trivia?
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
We'll keep us on the rails just a little bit here
All
because
right.
We're on the rails.
we're staying on
By
the rails.
I know.
For
Jeff said
sure.
they're on the rails.
I know.
There's
Yeah.
nothing.
That's
Our
what you said.
conversation
Jeff
was a
said
good
that.
conversation,
Yeah.
and I think that's something
right.
that
On the
needs to be
rails.
talked
Oh,
about.
On
it's
the
a good
rails.
on the. Why is everyone against us being off the rails though? Because it's much more.
It's a bunch of
entertaining.
wild and crazy guys.
Let me tell you, the viewers enjoy when we get off the rails a little
Sometimes,
bit because
yeah.
I think that
Poll question.
I honestly believe that
Poll question.
they enjoy those conversations because sometimes those tough conversations are had here that not everybody agrees and not everybody, and so it gets a little bit off the rails because of that. And I'm okay with that because I think our fans are okay with that.
With that, I'm going to fall forward and we're going to go right into sports trivia.
I think he's taking a shot at Zach.
Hey, that's fine.
Hi, Zach.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey.
Don't run it up.
How many times have we posted that in our conversation?
yeah.
And Zach's just like, ha ha. You know, in the
Zach
in the
takes
background,
everything
in the background, he's going.
stride.
Scheming.
Yeah, he
I'm
takes
scheming
everything
against
in
Ray.
stride.
I'm scheming against Jarvis. Type deal.
He hasn't said anything about picking on him 13
Yeah.
or 14 more times.
Not yet.
Other guys.
All right. The champ
I'm
gets.
just trying to be nice.
Yeah.
What are we hiding this?
Here we are, Cranium Cup
Are
trivia.
you okay?
You
Are
wanna
you
plug
sick?
in?
No, I'm just trying to be nice.
Trying to be
I
nice.
had
I
it
can say
spot
something.
somewhere.
The champ gets to pick our next category.
Foosball.
Football.
Foosball.
All right.
I hate this part of the show. Go ahead.
Me too.
Except when you win, then you just.
This is
Well,
not the
that
question.
Thank you.
This is not the question, but this is the first one that came up. This is for Zach.
yeah.
Who's the first player drafted in the first NFL draft in 1936?
I hope you're not going to ask that.
Right.
Jim Thorpe.
Wow. All right. Here's a good one.
I don't know.
Because I don't know the
Rick
answer to this
Grange?
one.
Could be.
This is going back a little bit. What team was originally named the New York Titans?
Really? This is
What
football?
team was originally named the New York Titans? Answers. Tennessee Titans. The New York Giants. All hail the New York Giants. The New York Jets. Or the Kansas City Chiefs. The Titans, the Giants, the Jets, or the Chiefs. Which, by the way,
You know,
the Jets have a really good chance of going over.
And they were originally what?
They were originally called the New York Titans. Titans.
I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
Answers,
It ain't
please.
that. What's the selections again?
Titans,
Sorry.
Giants, Jets, Chiefs. Titans, Giants, Jets.
I have no idea.
Jets,
No
Chiefs.
clue.
I think we might have had this question.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought we
The
did
answer
too.
is the New York Jets.
Did you get it right, Miller?
I did.
Miller got it right.
I'm
and so did
telling
Blair.
you. I'm telling you. This is rigged.
I
wake up. I go to bed at night, and I'm in the lead, and I wake up, and now I'm.
Okay. Hey, not that you even had an argument, but you answered a blind guy.
Yeah, out of
For an
spite.
answer.
Out of spite.
No.
Yes, I did. Yes,
Yeah,
it was
but
out of
it's
spite.
rigged when you do that.
It was out of
You
spite.
forfeit every.
It was out of spite.
argument you have.
I didn't think I was going to get the other questions right.
Out of spites, our next
Well,
category
out
is
of
going to
spite,
be
out of
chosen
mind.
by
Yeah.
Zach McVeigh.
I don't care.
Basketball.
We're going to go esports, dadgummit.
All right. Esports
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
There's only 8 questions for here, so there's
Yeah.
easy.
We might have had those already.
I don't
All
know.
right.
Who knows?
I wish.
Wow. We did have one question on esports because I just passed it up.
Pissing mode so much about this.
Wow.
I'm sorry I'm teaching every day and I don't get to be in my office reading up on sports trivia.
All right, here we go. Here's a good one.
Or doing
Here's a good one.
commercials. Or doing commercials.
Here's a good one.
Hey, Ray, what's that website again?
Okay.
Thanks.
Sounds like a sore loser.
I know. Pretty much.
It's called 1-800-SUCK-IT. That's what it's called.
There you go.
Oh,
Just went there.
Loose with the lingo a little
Here
bit.
it is.
Off the rails. Jeff Whitener, you better get on it.
The views of the coaches are not shared by those of Livestream STL.
All right. See, I went there twice already.
Or the producer. The views of
All
the
right.
producer of the coach's box.
Is this question number 2? This is only question number 2.
Only number 2.
All right. What was the first college to offer esports scholarships? What was the first college to offer esports scholarships? Answers.
Princeton.
They're not one of the answers.
I know.
Robert Morris University, Bellevue University,
Ooh, which Bellevue?
Georgia Southern University, Texas Wesleyan University. What was the first college to offer esports scholarships?
What was the last one?
Robert Morris.
All I'm saying is if he gets this right, it is rigged.
I just guessed.
Rigged.
Robert Morris, Bellevue, Georgia Southern,
that's the
or
one I wanna
Texas
go with.
Wesleyan.
That's the one I want to go with.
Answers.
Will you just pick?
No, you know what it is? It's the old pressure luck. He's got the math
Are you
equation.
freaking kidding me?
What'd you pick?
The answer is Robert Morris.
Oh, mother.
I
of
told
Pete.
you. It's rigged. I told you. Enough said. Enough
Riley
said.
Blair, pick our next category.
Sounds like a sore loser.
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
let's go.
Hey, do you know there was the quiz
Let's
show?
go to NASCAR. This guy don't know NASCAR.
Yeah, quiz show. They had a rigged
What?
game show. You don't remember that?
What?
You Mr. Trivia Guy back in the late 30s, 40s
Wow.
quiz show?
Mr. Trivia
Was
Guy.
there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know
Now
the
it's 2020.
I know
NASCAR,
the McDonald's game, the Monopoly game at McDonald's was rigged.
It was.
All right, here we
I
go.
watch that documentary.
This seems like it could be a very easy question, but it might not be. I don't know.
Probably is easy.
What new
Turning
safety
left.
measure did NASCAR introduce in 1994? What new safety measure did NASCAR introduce in 1994?
They removed
Answers.
the ashtrays.
You can put 6 packs of soda in there. Okay, here we go. I am your father.
No more right hand. No more right turns.
No more right turns. No. Answers. Seatbelts, airbags, roof flaps, or helmets.
Roof flaps.
What new safety measure did NASCAR introduce in 94? Seatbelts, airbags, roof flaps, or helmets.
What is a roof flap?
I don't know. I'm picking it because I don't know what
I
it
am
is.
too, because I don't know what that is. What'd you put? Chris?
Well, he probably shouldn't pick it. I bet he put.
It doesn't matter at this
You
point.
put roof flap.
I don't know.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm
Is
gonna
that
go
the
out-
net thing?
I'm gonna go out on a limb
Is that
and
the
say
net
something.
thing?
No.
Over
No.
No.
No, it slows the car
Roof
down.
flaps are flaps on the actual roof.
Oh yeah, they pop up to slow it down. That's the right answer.
It's got to be.
What new safety measure did NASCAR introduce in 94?
When did-
that
when did
answer
Earnhart
is
die?
roof flaps.
I went out on a limb 'cause I heard these guys
So
all
that's
say
when they
it.
did the neck thing?
That's the
when
Hans
they-
device.
Yeah.
That's the Hans device.
Hell, son of a biscuit.
And they've never.
didn't go with the roof flap?
We've never had an
'Cause
Earnhardt
you guys all got
question, and never had one.
A what?
on him. If we're gonna have NASCAR, how do you not have an Earnhardt question at least?
Well, there's only
Tom
like
Petty,
Movie
Not
trivia.
Tom Petty.
Tom Petty was a racer.
Yep, he was.
Oh man.
Wow.
Wrong kind of racing.
Yep.
All right. Since
Nobody can win.
We got 3. You got
Three?
He
had
won.
three.
He won.
you already won,
He won. Yeah,
He won.
I already wanted
What's
to know.
yeah. What
We'll
was
save
it?
the questions, I
Robert
guess.
Morris. Come on.
wow. Because you know what?
I can't go for perfection.
Wow.
Sorry.
Bunch of. Just ask me the question then.
Nope.
Go ahead. You'll be the only
Robert
one who gets it right,
Morris.
probably.
Maybe.
Shoot.
Go basketball.
You know what would be funny?
Go basketball, right?
We want to go basketball.
Go basketball,
Any
right?
particular
Don't care.
any particular
Don't care.
team?
Don't care.
Trivia sucks. Can we go back to timeout?
Robert,
Kurt wants a
Robert
Ricky
Morris,
Bobby
right?
question.
Who?
Ricky Bobby.
About him.
I want to go back to timeout tirades.
Let's go to.
I got my timeout.
What's
tirade
the other
Miller.
categories?
Oh,
I'll ask the categories for
Okay,
Mr.
hold on,
Chris here
hold
on
on.
the last one.
the categories: baseball,
Fencing.
basketball,
Go.
baseball, basketball, esports, football, golf, hockey, horse racing, NASCAR,
Curling.
Olympics,
Horse racing.
soccer, and tennis.
No, let's
picked
go.
horse
Let's go
racing.
Olympics. Olympics. We haven't had an Olympics
Olympics
question.
trivia. Okay.
If he knows this one, we know it's rigged.
I'm the Robert Morris, really?
He'll
Come on
miss it.
now.
He'll miss it on purpose.
Yeah.
No, he will.
Sandbagging.
I just
Make
like
us all
that. I
feel
just like
good.
how the scoreboard's just
Yep.
so tilted.
I wake up in the morning. I pee excellence.
Big fat hairy American winning machine.
Oh, mother.
Okay. Man, there's some. Okay, we'll just go with this one. It's gonna be a tough one.
We can all answer it and see if he gets the same
What
one we
year was the Olympic hymn first played at the Olympic Games? What year?
I was going to say, he's already
What
writing
year?
stuff down.
The Olympic hymn. Da, 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 that Olympic hymn. You know that? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sure.
I'm not
Da,
answering.
da, 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 da.
I'm not answering, he says.
Answers 1956, 1932, 1896, or 1920. '56, 32, 1896, or 1920. Answer. D. You all got it wrong. And Jarvis could have actually answered and probably got it right.
No.
The answer is 1896, believe it or
That
not.
was actually
Would not have known that.
1890?
That was the first modern Olympics, wasn't it?
I believe so. Let me double check that.
There you go, sir.
No, thanks.
Oh well, here's your fun fact. The Olympic hymn
clump,
was
sir.
first played in 1896 Olympic Games in Athens. Yeah, so there you go, Athens.
Yeah.
But wasn't declared the official hymn by the IOC until 1957.
Well, then we got it right. Because
Useless.
it wasn't official until 1957.
Yeah, but the question was, what year was it played, not officially adopted?
Oh.
Thanks for playing, Zach.
Yeah.
Zach, better luck next
Like
time.
next
luck
year.
next week.
Better luck next year.
2021 will be your year.
Yeah,
Zach.
exactly. Yeah.
That'll be our next Twitter poll. When will Zach McVay win the Cranium Cup?
Never. Well, I'll study up on that website.
There you
Let's
go.
see. Yeah, I'll get it for you.
I still don't even know what website. He said it the other day, and I don't even remember it. I can remember what it
Too
did 5
late.
minutes
He
ago.
said it the other day?
I
Yeah.
did.
He,
I
He's
was
going back
like-
watching it now.
He didn't even-
Which
Going back
episode?
to watch.
he didn't even twinge an eye either. He said it, and then he just started going on to something else
Move
like
on,
we wouldn't.
yeah.
Nobody would notice.
I'm changing it now, though.
Oh, now.
I'm about to run out of questions.
Well, I thought maybe he was going to change the Costal.
I did already. It's Coastal Carolina
No, it says
on
it
Facebook.
right there.
If you refresh it, it does say Coastal Carolina on
I'm
Facebook.
not going to refresh it.
So
Not doing
fine.
it. Not. I refuse.
All right, so we'll be closing
Refresh
up.
you.
We'll be closing up with Mr.
No, I mean, the last thing I just want to say,
Wow.
personally, I'm going to get my little tirade.
On a
right quick.
personal note.
On a personal note. Wow. I think it's really stupid that we had. I'm glad the kids get a chance to do it. High school wrestling it's great. I think that kids have a chance to play sports, but first off, I sent my captain to the pregame. I didn't read the thing. I sent my captain over for the the meeting in 5 minutes, and the officials are like, "No, we don't do that. Just the coaches." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And after the game, everybody turns and they just wave at each other. The kid's not shaking hands. I'm going, so wrestling's okay, where you get all up in somebody, holding them and stuff, breathe all over them. But kids can't bump fists. They
Oh,
can't
my
shake
goodness.
hands. You have got to be kidding me. That has to be the stupidest thing I have ever heard in my entire life.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Wait,
Hold on.
find
Before you get that out,
I don't care.
today,
I don't have any.
today we're doing last night and tonight. We're over at Hillsboro, and you guys know where we set up on top. Behind the grandstands upstairs
Yeah.
is the wrestling mats
Wrestling
and,
match,
and practice.
Yeah.
You know, they retrofit it for baseball you know, but it's wrestling time. And I've got 50 kids up there. I'm not kidding you. All 50 of them. They're all hugging each other.
They're wrestling.
But they can't shake hands?
Yeah. Because the
Yeah.
coronavirus, which is it's terrible, deadly thing, can only, number one, it can't cross the Merrimack.
Right.
And it doesn't affect people when they're wrestling.
Well, here's the thing.
But after the game, that I just played this person probably within less than 6 feet, and probably at some point my hands fouled them or touched a ball that they touched or something like that. I can't shake their hand. I can't bump their fist. I can't tell somebody a good game. We're all about sportsmanship. I watch those stupid ass sportsmanship videos that are up there at the Final Four or whatever all the time, and showing that little girl throwing a fit, like whatever. That's not sportsmanship, but they can't do that. But this is okay.
Well, here you go. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to spin this out, okay? He gets the jump ball. His team gets the jump ball. That's what we're going to go with. Might as well do that.
They were talking about that.
Might as
doing
well.
a coin toss for the jump ball this year.
I mean, there was a discussion about
it. So you jump after rebounds?
But I know that we're just talking about.
Hey, I think they should just put the bottom on the bottom of the basket, and we just do jump balls every time like they used to with the peach basket.
But I mean,
that's how much sense this all makes.
This is what I say.
It's so stupid.
Or do it the old school. You got the three areas, and you can only go in your area.
Oh, it's not. That's like the old Iowa basketball. They made girls play 6-on-6.
Right.
It's pure communism. It's the worst.
On 6.
You never heard of that?
Yeah.
Jarvis, you okay?
Jarvis is ready to go to bed.
I had a long day.
But you know what? Like you said, Chris, is giving a fist bump. Going through the line.
Isn't there like a 5-second rule? Like you drop your food on the ground, and you just 5-second rule. You pick it up, and it's all good. They've done studies on it. It's legit. But no,
I thought it was.
What about an elbow? What about
no, I can't do that at all. It's stupid.
So
it's stupid.
And
I went over and I shook the coach's hand. I did it both games. I just said, "Hey, I'm shaking your hand. This is the way it is." You don't like it?
Yeah, buddy talked about it. Because Miller wouldn't let me I was going to give him one of these, and he was like, "Nope, shaking my hand. Come here, you.
Yeah,
you are shaking my hand. I'm from down south, and that's what we do.
Don't shake hands. Brothers got to
I didn't say I was going to give a hug to anybody.
That's right. And no, Kevin Holly, we are not having any Stevie Wonder trivia. Thank you very much.
Well, it's coming up.
We might as well be Stevie Wonder while we're doing it. Can't see, or maybe we should be deaf too, because we can't get anything wrong. What? I mean,
that's good stuff.
Home is where you make it.
2 wins.
So what do we got next week as far as?
We're going to do a Secret Santa.
Yeah, we talked about
let's do a
Secret Santa next week. So
I think it would be fun to have
No, not next
fun.
week, but the week after.
Yeah, we'll get it together.
Before
Next
Christmas.
week we'll get it together, and then we'll have the.
we're gonna do a drawing for Secret Santa next week.
All right.
You guys throw out some ideas. It'd be great.
That'd be fun.
R. Blair at Dunklin.
All right. I think
you did.
That and do we want to hybrid our show next week with Main Street Sports so we can actually get you guys in?
You talked about it for like 8 weeks in a row.
But we've got to do
with it.
Well, there's only so many weeks until it no longer becomes a preview.
Well, at least listen.
At
least you will be the first one that want to preview. I haven't gotten anything about anybody else except for K-Jeff. They call
I got
us
the radio.
The radio.
I got the radio.
Nobody else has said anything. I read other things, and I see previews for all of those schools, and that's great because I like reading those.
Well, they evidently did them for the big schools.
They did the large schools in the leader.
Shots fired.
I think that's good.
Well, I'm not shooting any fires.
No, we're stating facts. I'm just
stating
kind of
facts.
curious if there's
Just
going to
the
be
facts, man.
Just the
I mean,
facts.
I'm not even worried about it. I talked on the radio. That was fun.
I'm okay with that, but at the same time, it's like preview
highlight
shows.
our kids. Just want to highlight our kids. That's the key.
Jeff Whitener says he's going to buy Blair a striped shirt.
I'll wear it.
All right, brilliant.
Red and black
That'll
stripes.
be a good gift for
It's got to be a red and black one though. Will not
red,
be a
black
black and white one.
I'm going to get you a gold whistle. We're going to call it the whistle of shame.
That'd be good. I'll wear it.
There you go.
Dunce cap.
Dunce cap. I like that. I like that idea better.
I have a feeling you would be passing it to someone else and not real long anyway. Not me, I'm saying. Not foreshadowing here for myself, but
Right.
I have a feeling Miller will get one before anyone else next. I think Miller is next. Do we want to?
Are we going to take bets on this?
Over under?
Mountain Dew on the table.
How many games between now and his next technical?
Blair was more animated in the game last night that I saw than I saw him most of the year last year. So
Amy Duncan was trying to send me a video of your technical, but I couldn't get it.
Oh,
I had several
I have it
people
right
send
here.
it.
I'll share it with
Okay.
you.
Send it over.
It's a little
We'll show
blurry.
it. It's a little blurry?
Yeah, it's a little blurry.
No, it's not.
A little blurry. But you could tell what happened.
Wow.
Clear as mud.
It was a clear T call. Like I mean,
it was one
of the biggest T calls I've seen.
Well, I think that gentleman's a little bit taller.
He's a little
He's
bit
a
tall,
lot
so he
taller.
has,
He has a little bit of a
his
swing
wingspan.
to him.
His
and-
wingspan is pretty
dude,
good.
it was a major whoo! I am teeing you. Pow!
Hey, and you know what? He's got me.
wow.
He's got me before.
Oh.
He got me too.
Kevin
he
Holly.
he gave me a stop sign and I waved it off.
Yeah.
You don't wave off.
Did you tell him if it's got white around it, it's optional?
Oh, hey.
Right through
I
that
said-
thing.
I totally use that all the time. I use that one. Hey, it's got a white around it. That's optional.
He's like, Coach, here's your stop sign, and he's going back.
Yeah.
He's running backwards, and I go, I see your stop sign, and I turned around and I hear a whistle, and I was turned around and I was talking to my assistant coach Jim Klaus at the time, and he goes, and Jim goes, Coach, you just got popped. And I go, what? Turn around, and sure enough, he's called it in. I said, what? What did I even do? I didn't even get an explanation. My athletic director
Did not either.
had to read the Misha report, and it specifically says because I waved off his stop sign.
Wow.
And I said it.
Where in the
I
rule
swear
book?
on my daughter's life, that's all I said to him. I go, I see your stop sign. And I just turned around. I was done with him. I wasn't going to argue. At that point, he gave me the stop sign.
And you were
That's
like,
it.
I see it.
I see your stop sign. I turned around. I'm getting ready to coach some more. I'm just
Why
worried
is
about
that worthy?
And that's the same.
Why?
Hey,
Gentlemen.
last year I got
Fauci.
mine, and all I said was, oh, you're killing me.
And all I said was, I ain't got
That's
enough
all
Vaseline for this.
Well,
Because we didn't have a full med kit. We do have a full med kit. We make sure that we are properly prepared for all of our games.
Holly says you're going to get one tomorrow at Afton because of the mask issue.
The referees are not in charge of making sure that players, coaches, or anybody have their masks on.
That's Sam Page coming down. You're going to watch
All right, he
tomorrow?
wants to come down and watch. I'll tell him where he can.
oh, you're going to fight Sam Page showed up. That would be great.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Hey, I'll tell
Join
you,
us next Wednesday night on the Coach's Box.
Maybe have a special call-in during your game. I'll go Facebook Live while we're having the game.
Oh, that would be
Oh, my
exceptional.
gosh. Yeah.
Well, this is Coach Miller from the locker room where I just got tossed because I wasn't wearing a mask.
I just had fun filming with both of you guys last night. I just wish I would have had a Zoom for Chris a couple times.
You should have just came and sat down there.
You had your hands like.
Well, you know, you were
man.
Facebook
He
Live,
did it,
right?
he did.
Yeah. Oh,
You could have brought any of us in.
I
You could have brought us all in.
God,
That'd have been
that
hilarious.
Oh man.
You should have just came and sat on the bench.
Talk about ratings gold right there, right?
You know what? I'd take that back. I really wish I just said, Jace, why don't you sit over there and
What
just
you
listen?
should have done was got on the Coach's Box Facebook page and actually went live
Oh,
on
went
it.
live
Oh,
from
my gosh. Yeah.
I should have done that at your game too. I
Hey.
was enjoying watching
Hey,
you.
just remember now, payback.
Oh, hey,
I don't get mad.
Yeah.
I know what you do.
I was pretty animated.
I don't get mad. I just get the answers from Ray.
And we're off. Let's bet it.
And scene.
I mean, he's been super quiet. He's been, he was quiet for a minute. Bam.
Laid it on.
He's been over there thinking about it. Just do it.
Well, I guess when you haven't won this yet, I mean, yeah, something.
All right, we're going to wrap things up, guys.
He rips me more.
Text over there going,
I've won more than one.
That's right, one.
There it is. All right, guys. Thanks for watching the Coach's Box tonight. Again, tomorrow night we'll be over at the Riley Blair Technical Classic. I mean, the Doe Run Classic over at Herculaneum. 7:15. Is that right? 6:45. 6:45 and 8:15. That's when our times are. I'll make sure I get that right. That will be on the TKDS Sports Network, so make sure you get it tonight. Go over and get it tonight by going over to videos.tkdssports.com/livestreamSCL. Get you on Amazon Fire TV, the app, and the Roku channel. Again, get that app over at the App Store or Google Play for Livestream STL and Livestream STL South. But both the games will be on videos.tkdssports.com/livestream STL. Ray Halbach here at Livestream STL. We will say so long. Have a great evening.